Cheers.
Cheers.
How are you? Welcome to another episode of Ben and Breakfast. How are you?
So good after that delicious drink of tea.
Have you finished yours already?
Yes. I drink cups of tea in a minute at home. Okay.
In a minute. It's boiling hot and you just scald your mouth.
I leave it to cool down, obviously, but like a minute within starting it.
I just like the idea of you need to drink it so fast that you will burn your mouth.
Oh, yeah, I can't taste it anymore. Like my throat is just one long blister. I am 90% scab.
Ew. Oh, dude. Oh, no. Whenever anybody brings up scabs, I just think of Powerpuff Girls and it's disgusting. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I'm glad I don't.
So there's a bit...
Don't.
Seriously,
Stop.
There's a bit in Powerpuff Girls. So you remember when they had their, like, boy version doppelgangers?
The Rowdy Tough Boys.
Yeah, whatever.
Do I remember that?
Yeah, you actually remember the name. No, the only thing I remember is the thing that traumatized me. Because it was just so gross. Because I was like, okay, because they're, like... just gross boys, basically.
Yeah.
They're just, like, the grossest. So in their fights and stuff, I'm sure they were, like, giant for some reason as well. Yeah. Because I think, like, he has a scab or something, and he, like, peels it off and throws it at one of them or something like that. It made me, like, so fucking sick.
I mean...
that it's traumatized me to this day. I was probably only, like, 8 years old, and I still remember that shit.
I can guarantee
you know
like,
it's bad.
Any episode of Flapjack will beat that out.
I'm sure it will, and
Flapjack was so fucked.
I don't ever want to see it.
Oh, it's so fucked. It's really funny, and it has some great moments in it. But man, if that isn't the ugliest show in the world,
it's pretty ugly. Yeah, that's the main thing that turned me off. And then I heard people saying, "Oh, that's really good." I'm like, doesn't look it.
It is very
Sure
good,
is.
but it's purposefully ugly, and that turns a lot of people off, especially because it's just so grayscale and sepia, and it's
it's weird. It's a really weird look to it. But, oh god. Anyway, you want to do music?
I mean, you want to do music.
The exciting times in music that you really keep up to date with. All of the music. To be fair, there's not been much in music this week. Like, I barely have anything written down. The new Mac Miller album came out, not this Friday, but the Friday before, I believe. And I thought it was pretty good. And then Melon gave it a 3 out of 10. Bro, you go on it, it's one of his most disliked videos ever. It's insane. Like, usually it'd be like, you know, maybe 50-50. But, like, no, pretty much everybody's like, Melon, usually I agree with you, but you're wrong in this one, bro. You just hate Mac Miller.
Damn.
And then somebody was like, damn, first Ariana Grande, now my boy Melon. Why can't Mac Miller catch a break? Because do you know about that? It was ridiculous. It's weird as well. So like him and Ariana Grande used to be together, and then they broke up, and I think 3 months, maybe less than that later, she's engaged to another guy.
That reflects poorly on her, not him.
Yeah, that's what it's like. Why you gotta do my boy like that?
Yeah.
Like, and they seem happy together or whatever. Like, they seem fine. It's weird because it's almost like a movie because she's gone to like the more nerdy guy now. It's like the happy and like, oh, she realizes who her true love is. Oh my god! But it's weird. It happens so fast. It's the engaged part that's weird. Like, it'd be fine if they were together, but that shows that. Okay, they were probably doing something. Well, the poor boy Mac over here is just there with his dirty feet.
I do want to bring up on that sort of topic, Elon Musk's. You know, his girl.
Grimes?
Yeah.
I like Grimes. As an artist.
It's just a very confusing couple.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
They never look happy together.
Elon Musk never looks happy anyway.
This is true. And you know
I doubt
what?
she does either.
Yeah.
They're perfect for each other.
It is really weird. It is so odd. I don't even know what the age difference is there. I wonder if it's all that big as well.
I'd imagine no more than like 15 years maybe, which is fine.
Sure.
As long as like you're both over 20, that's fine.
Yeah.
As soon as like one hits under 20, then it's like, whoa, okay. Whoa there, slow down, big fella. Whoa. Oh no.
Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah.
That is, but I mean, then after you see Elon Musk's tweets and stuff, and you're like, this is why you're never happy. You're on Twitter all the time. What are you doing? Go help the world some more.
Yeah.
Idiot. Why are you wasting your time like so many other celebrities?
Go not help the world because that one guy said you weren't helping, even though the guy who was actually in charge of the operation said, yeah, try it. So you're not helping, even though, you know, the people who are in charge.
I mean, don't get me wrong. He, like many other people, could be helping a lot more, but he's doing more than many other people.
I mean, Tesla is seeing really not profits right now, so he's doing what he can.
Yeah. I mean, like, fucking LeBron James, like, doing amazing stuff. Holy shit. And, like, it's people like him that should hopefully give other celebrities and, you know, people with money to do things a wake-up call and be like, oh shit, why am I not doing this? Even for the good PR, if nothing else.
I mean, he woke Donald Trump up to start, you know, slagging him off.
Yeah! Say it like, the interviewer, like, he was slagging off the interview primarily, but then he has a dig at him at the, like, it's hard to make him look smart. You piece of shit! The fuck do you think you are? And somebody said, you calling someone else dumb is like Kevin Hart calling someone else short. It's like, you can't fucking do...
It's like him calling someone else short. He's a midget. He's an Oompa Loompa.
Yeah.
He's a small, angry Cheeto that won't stop screaming.
What, Donald Trump?
Yeah.
He's actually quite tall. He's just
Isn't
got very
he
tiny hands.
Isn't he like 5'8"?
No, he's like 6.
Oh,
Since then.
That's still pretty small.
But, like, he's got tiny hands, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, okay.
That's
I mean,
in comparison.
just makes his dick look bigger.
God damn it.
And it's pretty hard to make his dick look big.
Because I heard more of the details just today, in fact, about the school that LeBron had set up.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane. Every single kid there will get a bicycle because he talks about as a kid, like, that gave him so much freedom, that helped him stay out of a lot of, like, dangerous situations and stuff, because he just liked exploring. There'll be some, like, what do you call it now? A food thing.
Yeah, food thing.
Food thing, yeah.
God,
you know,
that
that people go with like food stamps and all that. One of those things.
Food stamps?
What do you use your food stamps at? Right? That sort of thing. I think. Either way.
I mean, in high school, for us, we used our food ticket things just at the regular.
Yeah, no, but this is actually... So there's, what's interesting about it is this is actually for the parents. So...
Oh, okay.
It's what nurses are going to and stuff, which they shouldn't be, you know? Because they're getting so underpaid and all that.
Food banks.
Food banks.
Yeah.
That's the one. I knew it.
I'm so smart.
I'm pretty sure it's that.
It's
anyway.
pretty easy to make me look smart.
So, yeah. So there'll be like food banks there. So then parents can take food home and prepare and cook it on their own. So like healthy stuff. Yeah. So it's they're all about supporting the kids inside the school and also outside, and the parents who need help.
They have a lot of extracurricular weekend stuff as well, don't they?
They're saying a ton of things, just as much stuff to keep kids busy and like off the streets basically as possible, which is great. And it's a longer school year as well than normal, because they're all about like, we want to get these kids through education quicker, but also, you know, you don't necessarily need a huge summer break. Like, that's one of the things with education, is that I feel like we should just probably, in terms of your mind, the way your mind works, I think it's probably smarter to have shorter breaks, like 1 or 2 weeks, which I know we do get
more often, maybe.
Yeah. Rather than just a big chunk where you're just pretty much doing no studying whatsoever, and your mind is just switched off from school. It doesn't sound all that smart, right? Even though it's just kind of accepted. But yeah, so I think having a longer school year curriculum is probably a really smart thing. So yeah, they're just really nice. Like, what a cool guy setting all that up.
He might be kind of like a cocky asshole reputation within basketball, but outside of that, he's a really stand-up guy.
Yeah, like that is how you use your money.
To talk to.
That's how you use your money. Yeah. Like,
I mean,
wonderful man.
I know I'd use my money to buy a Donald Trump brand steak, which are
For, like-
apparently genuinely really awful.
Oh yeah, apparently so. Aren't they like $300 or something?
Something
They're
like that,
really
yeah.
expensive as well. Oh dear.
I've heard between like 50 to 200, which is still really stupid because like you go to
bad.
Miller and Carter in town and you get one for like 30 quid.
30,
full meal, really good, great sauce.
Solid.
The best sauce.
Shout out. Only the best sauce.
I mean, not salad, like it's like a half a lettuce in a bowl covered in like dressing and stuff, but it's still really refreshing
nice.
and
it's nice. Yeah, it's good balance.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Miller and Carter, I don't know if they're across the country. I think they are.
I believe they are, yeah. I think Mum and Dad went to one in Liverpool a while back.
Solid. What a diatribe.
It's really
Shout out. Speaking of stand-up guys, Kanye West was on Jimmy Kimmel. Okay, so as always,
Thank you.
he says shit that I'm like, okay, yeah, no, like some really nice stuff about like loving yourself and just persevering and all of this stuff. And then he just says some really confusing, weird shit that it's like he thinks he's really smart, but he's not.
So you could say it went south.
A little bit. So, because it was interesting, he was talking about like love for everyone and families and all this thing, because he was on the cover of some magazine. But either way,
Cover of some magazine.
my favourite magazine.
Some.
Some. That would be a great name for a magazine, to be fair.
It would.
With his like two daughters, it was really cute. But I'm sure he was talking about like love, family, or something like that. And then our favourite boy, Jimmy Kimmel, obviously.
Love him so much.
Yeah, but he brought up the fact, like, yeah, but so then the guy that you seem to support so much, then having families literally separated and torn apart at the borders, like this is like actually happening. And then as soon as he brought that up, Kanye is like, oh, and he probably starts to think about it. And I'm really interested to hear what he has to say next. And he's like, why don't we go to a break? And then he doesn't. Then after the break, he doesn't pick it back up.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Just because he's stopped it, like, and now there's been some people like, Kanye goes silent after he's asked about that. It's like, yeah, because you, especially if you're kind of being contradicted or something's challenging your beliefs, then yeah, you like, shit, okay, yeah,
being
let me
wrong
think about
in
this.
an argument or something is like equivalent to physical pain.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, especially when it kind of a little bit comes out of nowhere, because Jimmy Kimmel does that a lot, where he like ties it all back to Trump out of nowhere. It's like,
Because he has to.
Can we chill out a little bit? Fortunately, it's a bit more relevant for Kanye, but whatever. But yeah, then don't stop the man when he's like thinking, and like it would be really cool if that's started changing his mindset or whatever, or he's really thought about that. But we won't know now, and that's the whole fucking point of the interview. We're supposed to know that stuff.
I think
You cut him off at that, but then you let him tell us his favourite porn categories.
I think he started smelling the grinding gears and the smoke in the air, and he needed to. Okay, just let's calm down.
Like I'm not saying that he'd have the most well thought out and coherent response, but I would at least like to hear what it was, because that's one of the most interesting parts of the interview. But yeah, but at least we know that his favourite porn categories are black and black on white. Shocking, I know, right? And then I think apparently he started to say double, and then Jimmy Kimmel cut him off.
Double.
What could it be?
There's a lot of layers to
Exactly.
That. Like what? What?
Yeah, but I mean, because what was it? Yeah, he asked him like, has having daughters, has it changed your attitude towards women? Because of like that's one of his tracks on his album, is talking about like he's thinking about his daughters as being older, and like just kind of being a bit paranoid, like all of these men are looking at them and possibly objectifying them and all that, and he's just saying how basically kind of the selfish part of him at least hopes that they won't end up like their mum, right?
I mean,
because he doesn't want that. He just wants them to do karate and piano. I think it was one of the things he said. It was cute.
If they end up like their mum, they'll be famous, because the only reason why she is famous is exactly that.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, smart enough to capitalise on it, but that's the main thing that catapulted it.
I mean, Kylie, she's doing well for herself in terms of her business and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, she's successfully branded herself, unlike someone like Logan Paul, who really wants that to happen but can't quite get there. But
yeah, because he's too much of a dickhead.
Yeah, but she's done well for herself. I don't like that she's in that position solely from sort of
association.
Association, personal branding, sort of.
You started with a huge advantage.
Yeah,
essentially,
but
people she built herself up to there, and it's like,
actually,
had more help than most.
I was gonna say there are worse people to be in that situation, but then I remember, no, she's one of the people who was on the recently sort of leaked recording of like, oh, you look like a stick. You look like there's no weight on you at all. She's a garbage human. Anyone who glorifies that sort of stuff is a garbage human.
I agree with that. I forget exactly what she said on it. So basically, there was a thing about like Kim Kardashian had lost weight or something, and they were like, "Wow, you look amazing! Like you look like you have anorexia.
You look like you can put your pinky around your wrists and stuff. Like your wrist is as thick as my thumb."
Yeah, they're just really uncomfortable and weird.
Yeah.
Especially since she doesn't look like that thin. She looks normal and fine, but to exaggerate it and then to act as though that's aspirational is just ridiculous. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what she said on it, but at the same time, I do think, especially if you're being like recorded or whatever, your response might be different. And especially to somebody like that, like you're trying to flatter them, but you just did it in a really bad way.
Yeah,
should have just been like, "Oh, you look great." Left it at that.
If your different response to being recorded is suddenly, "I'm going to glorify a horrible physical illness that people struggle with,"
it's not great. It's not great.
Garbage humans. So yeah, you know what?
Wonderful.
There are worse people to be in that situation, but there are far better people.
Oh, definitely. I mean, and the same goes for like Kanye. Like, yeah, he
at least really put something out,
positive and nice stuff, but then he can just do the complete opposite as well. And he has like these weird he has this weird analogy about like. A kid like jumps up on a coffee table and we tell him like, no, you're not allowed to do that because that's a table, and then suddenly he doesn't feel like he's Superman anymore. He's brought down to reality, and then I'm like, okay, I'm kind of with you.
Yeah, I'm kind of get right.
And then he said something about, and I'm trying to stack all the tables up high or something like that, and I'm like, okay, you've lost me. What are the tables now? what is stacking them up? Is this another Trump thing? Is this like we got to build a wall of coffee tables? Like, what's going on?
Okay, I think he is building an aspiration for kids to climb up to, so they can when they reach that height they feel even better. But that's me finding the straws, building a wall out of them and trying to climb over it.
Like, I saw in the comments a lot of like, okay, so this is my interpretation, this is what I think he meant. And, like, this is the problem.
If you have to interpret what someone says in a regular...
Like, exactly, bro, you're not making a song at the moment. You're in an interview, just explain shit in terms that we can understand. And just because...
You might not be able to
exactly right.
It.
This is my thing. I think it's because you think like, well, if I talk like this, then blow people's minds because they just don't get it. And it's like that's not how that works.
He has movie syndrome, wherein everything he says has to be perfect because that's how movies are written. Like Game of Thrones and stuff. Game of Thrones syndrome. Everyone talks perfectly with perfect
and purposefully as well.
Purposefully perfect pronunciation, no stuttering, no stammering.
Like
and a lot of people have that when they want to sound smart, but I think a lot of actually smart people don't sound like that because they actually stop to think about what they're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
They haven't monologued what they're going to say.
And just because you trip over your words sometimes doesn't make you an idiot.
No.
Just because you have a stammer or a stutter or anything like that doesn't make you stupid.
A lot of really smart people sound like they're tripping over their words a lot, not like me. I do trip over my words.
You have the best words.
I'm a massive idiot.
You have the best words, though.
But people like... Someone like James Veitch, who's, he's a comedy genius in terms of his, he's the guy who did the scam email stuff with TED Talk.
Okay.
He did a full series on, I replied to a scam email.
Oh!
Him.
Yeah, I've seen the video recommended to me.
Yeah, you should watch it. The entire series, everything from, him replying to the scam email on TED Talk to he upset his roommate with rubber ducks and stuff.
Oh, yeah, no, I have seen it, yes.
And
I've seen the rubber ducks thing,
His style of talking is very, stop, stutter, go over it again, keep doing it, and, he's a smart guy in how he actually goes about stuff, and people listen to him for that reason. He has a fun way of talking.
Mm-hmm.
No one who has perfect pronunciation in a regular situation is someone you want to listen to. Because that's just boring.
Yeah, it sounds... Yeah. No, I agree with that. The more eyes I put in, the more interesting I become. But yeah, there was some interesting part, and Kanye even said himself, it was because they started to clap, and then he was like, oh, I'm still talking, and you don't have to clap for everything because I'm going to say a lot of great shit. And it's that kind of cockiness that I'm it's pretty funny though. It's kind of likable in a really asshole-ish way. This is my conflict with him. If
he said you don't have to clap for everything, I'm going to be saying a lot of shit, then that would have been fine. All he had to do was take out great.
Yeah, he said something great or genius or something like that. Yeah. It was something like that.
He is the human equivalent of an Apple Watch.
Because he thinks he's opening our minds and expanding them and all this shit. And
he is Skyrim.
He should just stick to the positive stuff. I mean, I guess that's difficult when you're bipolar, obviously.
FusiTube?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's FusiTube, but talented.
You're not wrong. FusiTube has no talents at all.
Oh, definitely not. Other than shouting in people's faces. He's really good at that.
Shouting in people's faces and being delusional. Actually,
that's what's concerning about him. I mean, at least Kanye actually went to rehab or whatever.
Yeah, Kanye went to rehab, and Kanye, he says he's going to do something dumb, and then he does it, and it works out for him. Yeah, generally.
And that's part of the problem in some ways.
But it's a problem, but not really, because that's what his persona and his fame is based off. If it works for him, then it's not really a problem, because he's not hurting anyone by saying stupid, dumb shit just constantly.
Yeah, well, it depends what he said, and the problem with some of the stuff that he says is that he doesn't realise how impressionable his audience is and how much they...
a small part of his audience, because I think the majority of his audience is just dumb people who are oh, he's so smart, but they're not going to go out and do anything with the idea of Kanye being smart. They're not going to protest in the streets and start bombing libraries for being restricted.
I would be interested in seeing how many people now legitimately believe shit like slavery was a choice after just because he said it. Right? That's what I mean. When you go that far.
I like to hope none.
Right? But that's how impressionable, and that's how some people view Kanye as a genius. It's if he said that, then that must be the case. God, he's just opened my mind to another level. He's expanded it.
I think there is the two sides of the same coin on that is Tyler the Creator's ha 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 was cyberbullying real, just close your eyes and walk away from the screen, in that he's parodying ha ha how is depression real, just be happy. Yeah. Stuff like that. And then there's, Kanye's "How was slavery real?" It was a
Slavery real.
how is slavery
Nice.
real?
Ooh.
How can our slaves be real?
If our eyes aren't
If
real.
like, I can't even begin to imagine what the fuck he meant by slavery was a choice. Like,
I think he was more about like,
you know what? No, slavery was a choice. The people who took slaves' choice.
yeah, it was that.
Boom.
That's true. Yeah, his thing was more like, you know, we were slaves for so long that it just ended up like we chose to be slaves for so, as if he was just kind of writing off, because he doesn't fucking read books or anything. He was acting as though there were no rebellions, or there was nobody that was trying to choose to not be a slave and trying to rise up. He was acting as though those people didn't exist, because in his mind they didn't.
Railroad, more like Disney tram ride, because that was just fake and a joke.
Yeah, alright, fake news. Fucking fake history. Like, that yeah.
History.
That's what, yeah, because he doesn't read, and I think he could be a bit more insightful and stick to just the gems that he can come out with at times, which to me are usually just the positive things of, like, you know, believing yourself, like, fuck what other people are saying, just, you know, you do you, and yeah, screw
The issue is, if he stuck to that, he'd be replaced by things like that, the "don't waste time doing things you hate" poster that you've got up there.
Yeah.
Because that's much nicer to look at and it's not obnoxious. His success comes from his stupidity.
Yeah, and being obnoxious and having controversy and
Yeah.
all of this, which is very similar to Trump. And it's like, and people are surprised that they like each other. It's like, of course they do.
The issue is
They're the
that
same.
Kanye, again, he doesn't impact as much as
Yeah,
Trump. Like,
oh, of course.
Trump being controversial is an issue, whereas Kanye being controversial is not.
Yeah, much less of one for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, especially for like us, it's more of a thing in America, definitely.
Especially because, like, you can separate Kanye and his music,
Mhm.
or you can put them together and be like, hey, is that obnoxious guy who puts out the good music and it's fun and it's funny.
Yeah.
But when you look at Trump, you're like, oh, it's that obnoxious guy who runs the country.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, and that's part of the reason why, like, he said, like, one of his lyrics was, ever since Trump won, I knew I could be president. And I'm like, you know what?
Yep.
Yeah, you know, of course this gives you more confidence. Of course it does. Makes perfect sense.
I don't want him to be president, and people are saying, like, oh, like Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Oprah and stuff like that. No,
please
don't make TV stars president.
Yeah, exactly. Just because they're better TV stars doesn't mean they'll be good presidents.
Yeah,
Because look at what we have now, and I understand, just because you're a good person doesn't mean you're a good president.
Yeah.
They're not politicians.
And it's not.
There are actually good politicians, just look for them.
George Bush was actually a kind of alright person when you look at, like, look at him as a person.
Yeah.
All he's done, like,
it can be.
he's stayed on good terms with people and stuff, and, like, you know, Obama's not
Yeah.
super against him or anything.
Yeah.
Like, he was an alright person. He was not a good president.
Really bad. Really bad.
I'm not sure if Trump is worse or on the same level or better so far. Like, currently, I think he's slightly better in vein of not having fucked up quite as much.
Yeah.
In that
But
he's not caused
just
any
give him,
wars.
just give him a couple
Yeah.
more years.
Oh yeah, well, two.
Oh.
Yeah, two.
Yeah, a couple more years. We'll see. Yeah, the thing is, there are a lot of really great politicians and nice people out there that are also good at their job. But the problem is, they're too busy being good at their job for people to take notice of how good they are at their job, because they need the personality and they need to be more controversial
Bernie
and stuff to
Sanders.
actually get people. Yeah,
People took notice of how good he was, but then he was shut down by his own party
Yeah.
from within by people who thought the person that people like
voted
less
for, yeah.
would
And then, that's one of
Green
the
Party.
stupidest things.
vote third party, and if enough people vote third party, that party gets a massive stipend to
Yeah.
fund their campaign more next election.
exactly.
Vote third party.
Yeah,
it's important.
Stop thinking that it's a wasted vote. You know what's
it's not. It's actually not a wasted vote.
You know what's a wasted vote? Not voting. That's a wasted vote. So
yeah,
many people just
end
up not voting.
Definitively wasted vote.
So many people just end up not voting here in America. Party. Yeah, just because they're like, well, I don't like either of them. It's like, well, vote for a third party that you do like.
I don't vote.
It's something
because I have literally no clue where to go anymore because everyone's fucked up and there's not a redeeming quality between the lot of them. So I just don't know where to go at this point.
I mean, we've not. Yeah, it's a while until whatever our election thing is. So, but I would encourage people to do some research and stuff. See who you like the least. No, see who you like the most. see who
you like the least.
Yeah, see who pretty much see who you hate the least.
You know what?
Who would do the least damage.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Research everyone.
Even the third parties, and then vote
Especially
for them.
The third parties.
Yeah.
Because the third parties get grants if you vote for them, and they get enough votes. They get grants to help fund their campaign for next year.
Exactly.
It helps. It's not a wasted vote.
So that was music.
That was music. Yeah.
Quality music. The Mac Miller album's pretty good. Fuck off.
Melon.
Anthony Melantano.
Melanthony Hectano.
Oh yeah, I don't think even because it's been so long since we've done one of these. I don't even think I never talked about the Denzel Curry album, did I? I'm not gonna go in depth on it. Either way, the new Denzel Curry album is fucking amazing. Listen to Taboo; it's incredible from front to back. There's not a single bad track on it. Really fucking good. That guy is amazing.
You know
he needs a lot more attention.
I'm gonna get on my phone and I'm gonna make a note right now.
It's really really good. It's really 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 good. That guy is yeah. That's my album of the year so far. Yeah, which because it came out in July. That's why it wasn't included in the latest video.
I did actually give the rest of the Now a listen.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
It's pretty good.
I like it quite a lot.
It's alright.
I don't think it's quite as...
It's not Plastic Beach still, but yeah.
Well, it's not Plastic Beach, but it's also not as bad as
Humans.
Yeah, it's not... Humans is actively a painful listening experience.
Ooh.
Because you've got two good tracks. You've got, Spirit House. Three good tracks. You've got Spirit House.
I think there are so many that I just forget. So many of them.
All My Life. Spirit House.
Oh yeah. That one's
The Apprentice.
Mm-hmm. And I think the one with Vince Staples is good, but you don't like Vince Staples, so I understand why you don't like that one.
Which one's that?
I forget. It's not, and it begins with an A.
Ascension.
Yeah, I think it might be Ascension.
Is that the Bob the Ass on the floor?
Yeah, I think it might be.
Okay, yeah, I like Andromeda, the other one.
Yeah, Andromeda, that's one with Dram, which is a pretty good track, but it's held back because they don't use Dram as well as he could be because he's got an amazing voice. A very pleasant voice at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Taboo is spelled T.
I just put Denzel Curry. I'm sure it'll come up.
Yeah, it's all on YouTube. He's a nice guy. He just puts everything up there. And he even has an interview where he's just being interviewed, talking through each track and his headspace going through them,
That's
which
nice.
is really nice because most artists don't give you that insight.
Yeah.
So here's the art, and just make of it what you will, and that's fine if you want to do that. But it's really refreshing when, especially when you're a rapper and you have so many different things that you're saying in one track alone to kind of go through that.
It's strange that that's fallen so far behind in music, whereas in movies you have commentary, in games you have tons of behind the scenes, and even BioShock, it's a collectible to find really interesting and fantastic dev interviews, whereas music, the most personal, expressive medium, has fallen so far behind in that's not really as big a thing in this very personal thing.
Well, because they see the music itself as being that, because it's so personal, and I get that, but at the same time, especially when you're writing what is essentially poetry, sometimes it's not as obvious, and people might want a little guidance and stuff.
Even books and stuff have that, though.
Yeah.
It really is the medium that has fallen the furthest behind on helping people understand your intentions. Which is a shame, because
Anybody want ice cream?
If you find an artist you really like, and
Then
really,
you want to know more about.
yeah, you want to know more. You want to know about more about the artist and the music itself, the specific pieces.
Yeah, what led them to certain things.
Yeah.
Because with Taboo, because it's like a 3-act structure, which you definitely could have done more with it, I think. But even ignoring it, it's still an amazing album. But yeah, like Act 1 is light, then Act 2 is grey, and then Act 3 is dark. And he talks about how it was originally just all going to be dark, and that was the bit of the album that he finished first. But then he was like, no, because then that'll just sound too much like my last one, which was pretty much all dark anyway.
Yeah.
So like, let's kind of balance this out. And there's so many different interesting instrumentals and vibes that he goes for, all packed on the same album. That's what makes it really refreshing. Because Imperial was a fantastic album, but it was quite dark and one note in a sense. Still a great note. Yeah. Still a great note and like aggressive and dark, but it's nice that he's just expanded his range and that's killed it in all of them. So that's music.
We got a bit of actual proper music.
Actual
discussion.
music. Yeah, I totally forgot about Denzel Curry. He's fantastic, and it's nice that like even saw a thing with Pusha T where he's reading people's interpretations, on Genius.
Yeah.
People's interpretations of it, and he's like, oh no, you're close, but this is what I mean.
Nice.
It'd be nice if more people did that, because it's like, it kind of shows me as well, like, damn, sometimes people on Genius are really far off. Like, even the most upvoted ones, because they're like, well, this makes most sense, and he's like, nah. Or like, sometimes they're reading too much into it, or not enough. Yeah, it's really interesting.
Well, music is an eternal medium.
And we ate good this week as gamers. Like, oh my god. There was so many good things. Like Doom Eternal. Doom Eternal. Oh my god. Yeah. So we'll be going through all like the big stuff for this week.
Yeah.
But first one, Doom Eternal, because Other Ben has just seen the gameplay of it.
Just seen the gameplay.
I watched it live. I was so hyped. Just like that crowd. That crowd was great.
Yeah.
They were so into just everything. Every glory kill, every like, as soon as the meat hook came out of the super shotgun, they're like, oh!
I think they were a bit too into some of the stuff, like when the very very generic glory kill came out, like the tripping the thing up and then punching it down. People started cheering. I was like, are you actually cheering the default?
Yeah, I was going to say, we remember this from the last game. But
I remember this too much from the last game. I'd rather forget it, thank you, because that killed a lot of my playtime.
But it was, it's looking great.
It's more of the same, but
There's nothing
better
wrong.
of the same.
Yeah, and they're actually changing up a bit more than I expected with just the amount, because the dash thing makes sense, and it's even something that, like I said, I thought about. I was like, well, a dash thing would be really cool, because especially with the demons that like charge at you and all that, your only option, especially if you want to get out of the way fast, was jump over. But now that you can just dash to the side of them really quickly,
Well, now
that's
you can
great.
like chain dashes and jumps and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So you can just dash through the air, and then you can chain that to the super shotgun grappling meat hook thing, which is crazy and such an ingenious idea, because of course it's a shotgun, you want to get close to your enemies. How you do that? Fucking go towards them with a hook. Oh my god.
Mobility was
so
a lot
good.
of people's main complaint from the last Doom, because like a lot of fans of the original seem to, the ones that complain especially, say, oh, it's not fast enough, it's way too slow. Well, now it's faster and you have more mobility, so if you're still complaining at this point, you're actually just complaining for the sake of complaining. Like, I wasn't the biggest fan of the previous Doom, but I saw it as a really, really strong game, because it's like...
You played it on console as well, didn't you?
I did play it on console,
which
it did affect it quite a bit, because I do... Like, as much as I am mainly a console player...
Yeah, I'm happy that console people get to enjoy Doom.
Yeah.
But it does not compare to the mouse and keyboard fast-paced fucking experience.
I always prefer FPS games on PC, because as much as I am a console main, I do prefer games on PC always.
So I need to get you a beefy PC.
Yeah, that's the issue. Like,
That'd
a lot of people like me don't have a fantastically strong PC, so we have to default to the console. But even then, even on console, it was a really fun game.
It's great.
It wasn't super like memorable for me or anything, because of how like blurred the levels were between all the just mashing the demons down and stuff, because it is that sort of game. It's just mindless killing.
It feels great.
It's great. Fun, but
it's really good. And I think part of that as well, now you mentioned, was the fact that a lot of it, you go between Mars and then stations or whatever, right? Mars/stations on Mars, slash Hell.
Yeah.
So you go between those two places pretty much constantly, and then there was like one cold place, wasn't there? There was like some icy bit towards the end.
Again, it's not super memorable for me.
Towards the end. And that was quite refreshing. And don't get me wrong, there was a lot of different bits of Hell that looked fairly different. I know there were bits that looked more green stuff.
Yeah.
They did a really good job with it. But then in this one, it seems like they're going to a crazy amount of different locations, which are really memorable.
We saw this like demon citadel type thing. We saw a city. We saw the space station. We saw Phobos. We saw the actual regular city that was covered in demon apocalypse stuff. That's 5 environments in the teasers already, and I think absolutely there's going to be way more because they seem to be
like just the concept art and stuff they were showing. I was like, this looks fucking great. I was like, because I was pretty satisfied with just even having Hell on Earth and all that, because I'm like, there's a lot that you can do with it, and I hope they do end up doing a lot with it.
Yeah.
But to then be like, oh no, it's not just Hell on Earth. You're going to go back to Hell, of course, and there's very different places in Hell.
Yeah.
And you're going to be at Phobos space station or whatever it is.
Well, I think Phobos, if I'm not mistaken, is one of the moons of either Jupiter or Saturn.
Yeah. That would make sense.
So it's a moon environment, but I think it's going to look gorgeous with like, space.
Oh, they all look beautiful. Yeah, the fucking BFG 10,000 is such a. I just
it's
love it.
It's a pandering thing.
It's absurd and great. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Great, but it's a pandering thing, but it's not like a pandering thing where you're like, oh, it's a pandering thing where you're like, okay, I get it.
Like, cause they do a really good job of knowing their audience. I think they really know, and they're like, yeah, you want to kill demons and you want it to feel good, which is why I've introduced the demon destruction thing, which looks fucking great. It
looks like it's gonna add a lot of like. That was
satisfaction.
That was a big issue with the other Doom as well. Like you couldn't tell what stage of hitting a big hard hitter.
Yeah.
And now you have a visual indicator of how much you've taken out of a demon, and that's going to go a long way for satisfaction.
And it's also satisfying. Yeah. Oh, it just looks so good.
I mean, the armor guy, like that had fire inside him and stuff. Him alone chipping off his armor, seeing all the fire come out underneath. I think fighting them is going to be really satisfying. And just so breaking them apart.
It looks so cool, and just having more. They say there's twice the amount of demons in this one than there was in the last one. Like, that's great. Because
they didn't have a super huge variety in the last game. So.
They had pretty good, but it was towards the end.
Yeah.
Like the last few levels, like we're not really seeing any new ones. This still feels great, and there might be new combinations of the ones that we already know, which is fine. But that was one of the few flaws I thought was like, okay, getting a little repetitive towards the end. I mean, it's difficult to do, especially with a longer single player thing.
Yeah.
But then also now the invasions are gonna mean that even just fighting regular demons is gonna feel different, because you're like, oh shit, this is being controlled by another guy.
Oh, I'm gonna buy that game and I'm gonna queue for invasions all day, because
it's gonna be so fun.
Stuff like that is my favourite part of basically any game. Like Absolver, my favourite part was having other players just pop into the world. Dark Souls, obviously I've spent thousands upon thousands of hours in the PvP.
Yeah. Because as soon as I say invaders and then saw the usernames, the dude.
I mean, it didn't.
I was like, oh shit, no, they are going Dark Souls.
I didn't think it'd be so literal a take from it though, because like it's literally called Invasion, and I was like, okay, is this some sort of special stage modifier or something?
Yeah.
No. It's literally a Dark Souls invasion.
Yeah, and I was like, you know what? You're going to take from the best and take mechanics that work perfectly fine for your game. I'm like, this works, this fits in, and it is a way to like, so even if you're replaying it, you can have slightly different experiences because you'd be invaded by different people, different amounts of people, and it's such a smart idea.
If that, like, it's an even smarter idea, because that once you see maybe how the how controlling the demons works or fighting those specific demons work, maybe you'll think, okay, I like that. I'll try out the actual multiplayer mode now.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really clever part of it is let's make a feature which essentially is a big advertisement for the multiplayer itself. Because part of my favourite part of the original Doom was...
You really like the multiplayer?
Turning into a Revenant especially. Because that was like jetpacking through the air, destroying an entire server as a Revenant.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and they've said now that the multiplayer will be in-house. Because that was, I think, a lot of people's problem was that the multiplayer did feel different from the single player. It didn't feel quite as good. They definitely got better over time because I think they might have taken it in-house after the fact, maybe. But it was very much outsourced to other people, and that's why it felt closer to something like a Halo than a Doom or even an Unreal Tournament. But then it kind of got closer towards that.
I still think even in the alpha that multiplayer was good because like at one point I remember coming out of a match like, oh shit, I just got 40 kills with 3 deaths.
I think especially as well on console it probably felt a lot better because
ironically probably.
Because especially if feeling close to something like Halo, that fits a console style more.
It was super Halo-ish but better than Halo because I've never been a super huge fan of Halo.
And then, but then you play that on PC and you're like, wait, why isn't this as fast necessarily as I want it to be?
Yeah.
And now this might be faster. We'll see how that translates to consoles.
The meat hook slingshot thing alone in multiplayer is going to be...
multiplayer would be fucking crazy. Yeah, dude. It's looking like a great game.
Absolutely.
It's looking like a really fucking good game. And I love their presentation. Those two guys seem like they're just having a great time making it and just being like, these are our people.
Yeah.
You guys get it.
I mean, they cheered at everything.
Yeah.
That's got to be like such a heartening...
Yeah, standing ovation at the end, God. And they showed way more than I expected. And they did a great job showing it off.
Yep.
I cannot wait. The only thing they didn't show was release date, but...
Whatever.
We'll see.
We're overall still excited for Cyberpunk 2077. That still doesn't have a release date, so whatever. But we did get confirmation that's coming to Switch on day one as well, which is kind of insane. I mean, I'm still confused over the fact that Dark Souls Remastered is coming to Switch. Like, there are so many non-Switch games that are coming to Switch.
You're right? Yeah, because as soon as they announced the first one coming to Switch, I was like, that's crazy, that's awesome. I'm not gonna play it because it's not mouse and keyboard and it's 30 FPS. Like, that's not for
30
me.
FPS and it's not even a standard controller.
Yeah, right. But if that's what you're into and you really want to kill demons on the go, then I was really shocked to find out that it not only is it coming to, but same day as all the others, because it's the same team that's porting it as they did that one. I think they did Rocket League. They might have even done Crash Bandicoot as well, and they did the Wolfenstein 2. They're really good at porting things. Like, obviously compromises have to be made, like the 30 FPS, and like obviously it's not going to look as good. But the fact that it can even be running on it alone.
Is it still 30 FPS in docked mode?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'll be buying Dark Souls Remastered for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get Dark Souls. Like that's the only thing that I want Dark Souls Remastered on, because it's the only thing that actually justifies it for me to have that on the go.
Yeah.
I don't need it on PC. I've got the better version, basically.
I don't need it on PS4 because it's not improved enough from the original to warrant just buying it again, but it is improved enough. Well, no, even if it wasn't improved at all, like I'd buy it. Go.
Yeah,
because I want to play Dark Souls everywhere.
You just got a Switch as well. That's just
I did.
You got Switch, guys.
Not putting my friend code in the comments.
You guys put yours in the comments if you want. I might add you. I have barely any friends on Final. Yeah.
I've already been getting people adding me from Splatoon and Mario Kart.
Motherfucker.
Okay, when you play Mario Kart and
you're good at it,
and you go into a lobby and you make 6 people leave within 5 games.
Don't want to deal with your bullshit. I wouldn't. It's Crash Team Racing.
All I said was
that
was fun. That's all I said.
That was fun, guys. It's fun to win, isn't it? Isn't it fun when you win a game?
I said it once after each
God.
game to not be cocky or anything, just to be like, thank you for the game. And then before my last one, I said, this is my last game. Let people know they're free of me. And then just after that game, four more people left.
It's really good. Yeah, because seeing how big the levels were in Doom Eternal looks much bigger than the original, even, because that had pretty fucking big levels, a lot of detail as well, a lot of secrets, which was great. But then the Demon Destruction and all that, I was like, even as I was watching it, I was thinking that I don't think they could get this to run on Switch, and fuck me, I guess they'll find a way. Fuck, you know. Yeah. So then the other big thing this week...
There were two.
Yeah.
We're just going to the other.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
One of the other big things this week was Red Dead Redemption 2. Like, we were just, day after day, it was just like, there was one thing, oh sweet, there's a stream of another thing, great. So Red Dead 2, it's very
beautiful.
Rockstar gameplay thing with the pleasant voiceover and everything, explaining everything. Oh god, yeah, it looks so pretty.
Yeah.
Like, the animations, the amount of detail that is in everything. I love the whole like intimidating witnesses and shit, getting them to stay silent.
Yeah.
I love that they made a point of like the way you interact with everybody doesn't have to just be with your gun. It doesn't have to be violence, but I mean it can be if you want.
Yeah.
That's great. That's what I want. And just it seems like there's a lot of emergent stuff, you know, coming across people already occupied with things, because that's one of my favorite things about open world games. If they can do that, then that's such an amazing feeling. It makes you feel more like you're in an actual world.
Yeah.
Because even Witcher 3 did that quite well. You would just stumble upon a quest. You wouldn't necessarily like have it on your map, and then people would be fighting or arguing, and then you just go over, and then that'd lead you to a whole story.
Maybe a certain Baron.
Yeah.
Still the best quest line in
Really
any game ever.
Quality
So good.
line.
Such a good character. Such a difficult.
So many
quest
choices.
line.
Yeah. But this is looking just gorgeous. There's going to be another one that comes. There's going to be another gameplay trailer. I don't want to see it. I'm good. Honestly, after that, it's like I'm getting it. Like it's over.
It looks aesthetically good, but I'm not confident in it for two reasons. First of all, is the obvious. It's Rockstar. It's monetization. Who
published it? Take-Two? Is it Take-Two? Because that's why. Pretty much now, because they're the ones that are forcing it. Yeah. Essentially.
I mean, Rockstar aren't gonna complain.
Yeah.
Because they're profiting off it pretty good. That's their cash cow. They didn't have to, put out the credit cards and shark cards and whale cards.
Because there's the thing you hear all the time about like publishers being like, no, you guys have to put this in.
I don't think Rockstar.
Like it happened with the Deus Ex Mankind Divided. Literally, like it was like a month, maybe even two, before it was releasing. Square Enix were like, no, you have to put this in the game. Guys, we need a mode like this, and that was the augmented reality or whatever mode that involved microtransactions. They're like, oh yeah, no, they said that we had to put something like that in.
For Rockstar, I don't think it's a case of having to, but the other, the more gameplay centric one is that I don't think they'll be able to catch lightning in a bottle twice, because Red Dead was a lightning in the bottle game where it was a fantastic open world game. It had sort of survival aspects. It had hunting and stuff and actually interesting activities to do. But you never hear anyone when talking about how much they loved Red Dead talking about that. You hear them talking about the story. Yeah. John Marston and his story and his follow-on story to it. I'm avoiding spoilers with Red Dead because
I've not played it.
Because you've not played it, and the fact that it's one of the very few games where I will be like, I don't care about the statute of limitations and spoilers for this. I just want people to experience it for the first time. The follow-on story from his, which no one saw coming, because it's such a blind side of like, oh, it keeps happening, it keeps going on. That's the big thing of why Red Dead Redemption is such a good game, and I don't think they'll be able to hit
the story is high.
Yeah.
As
I don't think they'll be able to hit. The story is high, and I don't think the gameplay will be able to carry it as much as people think it will, because I believe a big part of Red Dead Redemption was playing John in all these situations and doing the things with him because he was such an engaging character. And I don't think gameplay alone, or open world gameplay alone especially, can carry the game if the story isn't quite up to snuff.
I like that they've not been showing too much of the story, because of, like, they show little scenes here and there, and I actually do really like the dialogue, and I think it's
Rockstar dialogue is always on point.
It's engaging, and the characters seem good and fun. But yeah, I mean, the dialogue and characters is different from overall story. Yeah.
You can have fantastic dialogue and characters and have the most arse fucking story in the world.
I've heard, so there's something that they keep referring to in Red Dead Redemption, some sort of event. What's it called? It's like the river something, or some heist, right? You played it.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, okay. Well,
and I kept having issues with, I could only ever get past the start once because it was so glitchy. My horse kept flying into the air.
Quality of 10 out of 10. Yeah, I know there's some sort of heist that they keep referring to, but you never see it. And a lot of people are excited because it might be in this game, and that's like kind of a legend in that.
Oh,
one.
right, that. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It's.
So I think, especially for fans, that could be amazing.
Okay.
Especially if they pull it off and live up to the story that, like, it sounds like it had a huge impact on all of these characters.
I don't think they'll be able to.
It's difficult. It's a fucking difficult thing. But
they're setting themselves up for failure.
But I think, honestly, if anybody can do it, then it's probably Rockstar.
I don't think so. Simply, like, going from the story of, like, Grand Theft Auto 4 to Grand Theft Auto 5, I believe, along with a lot of other people, that Grand Theft Auto 4 is superior in a lot of aspects. Everything from, like, the engine, like, lighting and stuff looking just better, less flat, to, like, they simplified a lot of the fighting and stuff.
Yeah, there's various things.
Yeah, to the story, because Nico is someone just trying to make his way in the world and step away from crime, and he keeps getting drawn back into it, whereas in GTA 5 you play 3 of the least likeable human beings on Earth.
They're not great.
They're really horrible people.
I liked that they were bad people.
I mean, they were fun to play as, but they weren't Nico. Nico was such a likeable human being. He was a good human being who kept getting pulled back into stuff he didn't want to do, and I think it's going to reflect in the exact same way in Red Dead Redemption.
Do you think the main guy in 2 is going to be, like, really not likable as a human being, like, bad person?
Even if it's not that exactly, I think he's going to be less likable as a human being, not in the maybe moral sense, but in the he's just not John. And I think they're trying to set him up as, like, a follow-on to John, but there's only one follow-on to John.
But John is in this game as well, isn't he, though? He's in it.
Well, it'll be set in the past if it is the heist.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Which makes it even more annoying that they're calling it 2. Just give it a subtitle, guys.
They do that sort of shit all the time, you know.
Yeah, or Red Dead, whatever, because that's what they did before.
Yeah, Red Dead Revolver, Red Dead Redemption would be Red Dead Resurrection, because it's like sort of going back to the past.
Yeah, something like that.
Something that's not
Red Dead Rewind.
Red Dead Return.
Yeah.
Red Dead Returns. Yeah. Perfect.
That would be fine actually, because it's been so long.
Yeah. That'd be like a double, so like it's Return to the Past and it's returning as this. That'd be perfect, but not 2. But yeah, I don't think they're setting themselves up to be able to surpass the first one.
It's something that obviously you can't tell until the game comes out and we have a full experience of it.
It'll be very difficult to catch.
It's a high watermark from what I hear anyway, because I just love it.
It's not a high watermark, it's like
the highest.
The height of open world Rockstar gaming,
pretty much.
Watermark.
Yeah.
It's the best they've done.
Fucking huge. Which is why I want to play. Why they should have.
It's gonna look fucking
PC game. Why didn't they release it on PC, dickheads? Like, I'm fine with
Because
buying
it's
this
that
one.
specific section of Rockstar who doesn't make things for PC.
Yeah. Like, I was hoping that it wasn't just going to be a trailer that they showed. I was going to be like, hey, and a special treat, if you don't play the first one, then you can play. Honestly, even if it was a re-release on PS4, I'd buy it, because I just want an easier way to play it that's not on PS3.
PS Now?
Please. That's what I'm probably going to end up using, but I don't want to. Nobody wants to use PS Now.
Will you? Because it requires such a perfect
I will
internet
fucking try, because that's downloading and then streaming is uploading, so I could possibly get away with it. I will at least try it.
You know what they should let you do with PS Now?
What?
Download the game like a PSN subscription thing and have it not work if you're offline or something.
Yeah.
That's all they need to do.
So simple. That's so simple.
all they need to do.
I think they might have actually started talking about that. I think there have been talks about...
If they follow through with
let's do it.
I'm going to subscribe to PSN Now, simply put, because Ratchet and Clank Cracking Time alone I will play multiple times.
Yeah, it's either them or I think... it now? Might have been Xbox were talking about a similar sort of service where you would be able to download it or something.
If they don't put Blinks the Time Sweeper on it, they can go die. Blinks the Time Sweeper is the most underappreciated game on the Xbox.
That system that I didn't own, but I've heard a lot about Blinks.
It's like
I'm saying how good it is.
It's a shockingly good game for what the concept and the gameplay is. It's really super fun in every single way, and looking back on it, I'm like, oh, I really wish I could go back and play that again.
Just play it, but unfortunately they need to make a console that you actually want to buy first.
I mean, the original Xbox is probably like 50p now. No one wants it.
There you go.
It's got one good game on it, it's Blinks.
Oh dear.
Blinks is probably like £60.
Fucking ass. So I'm gonna take a pee break and then we'll be back to talk about.
We'll smash.
We'll smash the next topic.
It.
Oh boy.
Wonder.
Welcome back. And we're gonna talk about Smash Bros. The other
Let's
thing,
talk about Smash
there were
Bros.
so many things this week, man. It was just one of those weeks I was like, God, games are fucking cool. Aren't they great? Aren't games great, guys? Especially when they kill Luigi. Rest in peace, my boy.
Rest in peace, Luigi. He's not dead. He
is!
They confirmed it on Twitter, he's not dead.
We didn't see him get brought back.
Okay.
He's dead.
We don't see Mario go into the toilet, we know he does it.
He doesn't.
Oh!
Mario doesn't have a butthole, don't say that.
His job is a plumber.
Oh. I thought you meant to just go pee or something.
Why would it be out of his butthole? No, you said he doesn't have a butthole, which means he still has a dick, which means you thought he peed out his butthole. You're weird.
You know, it's great as well. Relating to the Doom thing again. When they were saying, I know, when they said, oh yeah, so it's going to come out on Switch as well, somebody replied with like, you better let us go into hell and save Luigi. And they replied saying, we'll try. Please, wouldn't that be amazing if Nintendo let them?
Why would Luigi go to hell?
Luigi's a bad boy.
Luigi's a good boy.
He's been a
he
bad
purged
boy.
an entire mansion full of ghosts and brought them to rest. That's a lot of karma.
That's true.
He's been clearing up after Mario for years. He went to the Bonbon Kingdom and saved Princess Eclair. Okay?
Well, he might be in hell because Death sent him there, because Death's a piece of shit. You know? He just got us all sent to hell.
That wasn't Death, that was a Grim Reaper.
No, it was Death.
Be honest, come on. Be honest.
Poor Luigi, though.
And anyway, that's Castlevania Death. Castlevania Death is different from actual death. As
according to Nintendo.
I think they might be an authority on this.
I think they're liars, is what I think. I think they want to keep the truth from us. That they just killed off Luigi.
I think we've seen Mario die literally thousands of times and come back every single time.
Well, we didn't see him come back this time.
It's because Mario didn't die.
God fucking damn it, you know what I mean. Rest in peace,
Simon.
Luigi. Simon got introduced though, and his bro. Might not be his bro. Alucard? Was it Alucard? Was that? No, it's not Alucard. It's
Ben.
because that's an assist trophy.
Who is Alucard?
It's Dracula spelled backwards.
There we go.
Yeah, Alucard's an
Wouldn't be.
assist trophy though.
It's Simon and...
Alucard's the one from Symphony of the Night, isn't he? Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The best one.
He's an assist trophy. Yeah.
The best one, play Symphony of the Night. If you only play one Castlevania game, play Symphony of the Night. It's gorgeous.
The GBA one, Aria of Sorrow, is pretty good as well. That's like the only one I've played to completion is really good actually.
Symphony of the Night is on GBA as well, isn't it?
I don't think so.
No.
Maybe it is. Seems a little
Aria
too
of
much.
Sorrow is also very good actually.
But
Play those
that's
two.
actually- yeah, those two are really good. Yeah, Symphony of the Night is probably better, but Aria of Sorrow is the only one I've actually completed.
That's also
and it's
gorgeous.
really good.
Shockingly,
nice.
actually, yeah, I'd put that up with like the best ones, which is surprising
really
because it's on
good.
GBA.
But you know, play Hollow Knight because it's the best one. Anyway, so what's the other one?
Simon.
Simon
What's
and Greg. Okay, yeah. So Simon and Greg got announced,
Craig.
and
No, something
they're looking really cool.
Belmont. Something Belmont.
Greg Belmont. Yeah, we know. Anyway, so
Distract them.
Simon looks like a beefcake. He's looking like more He-Man. Like he looks pretty great. Anyway, it was a fantastic trailer. It was super hype. I think a lot of people probably got hyped for Luigi dying because they're all haters. But
Distract them.
but Greg also seems pretty cool as an Echo Fighter.
Richter
Greg Richter looks pretty cool as an Echo Fighter.
would not have got that.
No, definitely not. And yeah, because at first I was like, this better not just be a whole other fight. You better not put that much effort into just making a whole other castle. Because I'm fine with one, but like, come on, guys. But no, as an Echo Fighter.
What if it was like a Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle situation where it was like, you know, Luigi's
It was
Mansion X Castlevania Mansion Battle?
That would be kind of cool.
That'd be actually really fun.
To be fair, with the new mode they've announced, one of the many new settings, you could have the Luigi's Mansion stage
Swap
between the Castlevania one. Which that Castlevania stage, that was most of my hype, honestly. I was like the amount of different bosses and stuff and then like Dracula can come out like as like a big boss. I fucking love that. I really like stages in Smash Brothers, and pretty much all the ones that they've been showing off are fucking great.
Ben.
What? Sweaty.
There's one stage. Final Destination.
And there's just one character. Fox.
And there are no items.
This is what, let's see, like, it's only seeing stuff like this, and with the stages and stuff, and it's cool that you can turn stage hazards on or off and stuff like that.
And Omega mode.
Yeah.
Why?
The boring mode.
Let's take out all the fun
mode.
of any of the
No,
stages.
I do like that they have that for people who are boring, but I'm not.
They're not us, no.
So yeah, and it's really nice to see people playing with the items and all, and the crazy stages and stuff. I'm like, I remember playing Smash Bros. Brawl a lot. I really liked that. Because it was fun. Because I didn't treat it as like a fucking serious fighter.
I remember playing Wario when I was driving around Ruby. I'm gonna eat you. I ate them, and I suddenly garlic mad, and it was terrifying.
Like
I was a Diddy man.
of course you were.
You can hit
were.
me if you'd like.
Like, yeah, Brawl. I had a lot of fun with that. I did get the one for Wii U, but because of Wii U,
You mean Smash Bros. For Wii U?
Yeah, I didn't play it that much, but that's mainly because it was on the Wii U. That's why I'm really excited for this one, because not only does it look just fantastic and truly like the ultimate version,
you can also take it with you on the go because it's not a Wii U.
Yeah, it's fucking great, and I'll play it more because it
and
has.
we can play it together because I'm gonna fucking get that. Of course, I am.
Of course,
Why would I
everybody's
not
gonna get it.
that?
Yeah, and they've also announced like a limited edition as well, with a GameCube controller and the adapter as well with it, which is always nice. Yeah, it was really nice actually that the same adapter, because that was what I was worried about, that the adapter for the Wii U one wouldn't work with the Switch, and that you have to get a new one. But no, that actually totally does work. You just plug it into the USB ports on the thing, so that's quality. One of the few times Nintendo I feel has actually done that and been considerate. So that's really good. I might get a new GameCube controller though, because my ones are getting old. And they get beat up by that game quite a lot because they get smashed.
Yeah.
Pun intended.
Yes. And also the character reveal that I was actually more excited for.
The one that I was more excited for. I was, because I heard like even people just saying, it's weird, it was only like a day or two before. I didn't hear about any of the leaks, but I remember some
leaks.
About so like wouldn't K. Rool be awesome? And this might have actually been like a week or two before. I was like, they are not actually they're doing K. Rool. Oh my god, they're doing K. Rool. Yes, I was really happy about that because Donkey Kong Country is a big part of my childhood, and obviously King K. Rool's so fucking. He's what a great character to have.
I will be honest, the only Donkey Kong game that I really had engagement with was Donkey Kong 64, but that's still.
It's still hype.
It's not an amazing game, but it's a lot of fun, and it's still King K. Rool.
Yeah,
it's not Rock Hawk.
Like how can you not have the Bowser of Donkey Kong when you have Bowser in it? Basically, like I'm so happy that he's in it. It's such a, and it's got his moves from like all three of the Country games, like some of the scientist outfit moves, some of the pirate moves with the gun and everything. It's so fucking good. And the
also, can we just call him King Cruel?
King Cruel.
Can we just call him King Cruel? It's so much effort.
That's an artist, though. Okay. There's an artist called King Cruel.
Are you saying King Cruel isn't an artist, the Crocodile Man? Because
he is a piece of art in enough.
He has an eye for art.
Yeah.
And another eye for just general use.
The trailer was really good, though. It was fucking hilarious as well. Ooh. It almost did the thing that I always do.
Oh, is that the one?
No, it's actually this one, but that one I feel might do it more. That eye's like bulging out like through the glass. Fuck, it is a fucking hilarious trailer, and then it gets so anime at the end, doesn't it? With the like two fists colliding. It's the most anime Smash Bros I've seen yet. It is wonderful.
I'm just happy like the villains, the rivals are getting in now because King K. Rool is too big, Ridley's too big.
Yeah.
No, Ridley was originally the size of Samus. In the very very original one on NES.
Ridley was in that.
Yeah, he was very
Metroid.
He was the size of Samus, same pixel height.
Cool.
Like it might have been a limitation thing.
Yeah.
But it was still a thing.
Yeah, and it's like. It's fucking Smash Bros. There's no rules. You can do whatever you want. You can condense things.
Bowser has been shown to be
much bigger than Mario.
In
many cases,
you've got like Pokemon who are much bigger than human beings. Like Charizard is
exactly. He's huge, but he's condensed. But because that's fine because it's fun to play as. Any reason to play as yet more fucking awesome Nintendo characters, I am all for.
Ganondorf ranges between like 10 feet tall to still 10 feet tall. Actually, no, like fucking Wind Waker and stuff, he was pretty small, but podgy guy because like Link, he was only like twice the size of Link in that, and Link was a small child.
Very, very small.
Yeah.
I played Toon Link a lot. I think that was my main one on Brawl.
Oh.
Why? What's wrong with Toon Link?
He was bad.
He was fun for me.
He was probably fun. But so was Diddy Kong. I was a class A shitter.
Literally just because I love just doing his like sword spin, the up B one. Because I didn't play with people who were good at it, so it was easy.
I didn't realise I was actually pretty good until I went to Wales a while back with some friends, and they had a Wii U with 2 games. It was Mario Kart and Smash Brothers, and obviously Mario Kart. Kart racing is my genre for some reason or other, I don't understand. And Smash Brothers, I tried to help them. I chose the random character. I chose the character I'm worst at. I chose Jigglypuff. I played Jigglypuff multiple times.
Leave Jigglypuff alone.
No, she's the worst. She's actively the worst.
She gets to top 3 in Evo. My boy Hungry Box.
As a joke.
My boy Hungry Box fucking
as a joke
destroys. Yeah. It's great.
But then they were like, okay, so this is you like letting us win. "What's your main?" And I was like, "Don't." And they were like,
Don't
"No,
wanna see
play him."
it.
I
You don't
chose
want-
Diddy Kong.
They died.
I think I 3-stocked them.
It's great. Yeah, no, that's why I feel. Yeah, I always feel bad if you're just like so insanely better at a game than other people.
The issue is they're normies.
Leave them
They're
alone.
They're just normal people.
Yeah, exactly. They're people who don't have time to dedicate, or just haven't dedicated time to getting good at something, which is fine.
The issue is like
Well,
one of them was my friend James. You've met him. He got Rainbow Six a long time ago, but didn't play it on PS4. Then, like, come maybe March, we started playing together a lot. Like, he is the sort of person to dedicate a lot of time into a game. Me and him play. He's much better at it than me. He's hit like Platinum 1, which is just below Diamond.
Nice.
He's really fantastic at it. He's good for him. I'm like sort of low Platinum, high Gold
Good
sort
for
of player.
Yeah.
So like he should have stood maybe a little bit of a chance.
I mean, so some games are just more for other people, and then some on. There's definitely some good, like Seraphina will destroy me in like a certain fighting game or whatever. I think we played Dead or Alive, and
nice.
Yeah.
Last round.
Maybe whichever one was on PS4.
Last round. Dead or Alive 5. Last round.
Yeah, I think it was that one.
Because that's the free one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably
that's
that.
all I know.
Probably that.
Because I installed that and it's only 11 gigs. It's free.
Yeah.
It's a free fight game.
Yeah, we played that, and even with my best button mashing, I couldn't.
Hello.
Oh, hey. Hey, Bulldogs. 1992. Good year for Bulldogs. Welcome. I hope you're doing well.
To be honest, I think any Bulldogs that were born in 1992 might be dead by now, because that's like 26 years ago.
Don't say that about Bulldogs. Bulldogs live forever.
Sorry. Okay, yeah. Button mashing, even with your best button mashing.
I couldn't do it. But then,
don't do that.
Yeah, obviously. But I mean, I we just put it on. I'm like, I'm not about to go through the combo list and stuff and stop us playing to like try and learn it. So that's my backup. That's all I got. But then when we played Mario Tennis, I just kind of kept winning at some point. I mean, times where I could be like, yeah, no, I'll give it to you, or I'll be like, oh no, so close, and I don't quite get it. But then, especially, I just kind of kept getting better. There was a bit actually where she was really, really good at it, like a section of time, and then I kind of learned the bit that she had learned before me that she had picked up on. And then I was like, combine that with the fact that I was just better at the other things. It's like, oh.
I mean, that was like Mario Kart where...
She's a little bit of a sore loser. Not like angry, just being like, fucking like she won't just play it like, oh, it's just a game. She'd be like, what a win.
When I was playing Mario Kart, there was one point where I thought about giving it to them because, like, I just got hit by a blue shell and then a red shell in a row when I was right next to the finish line, but I was so far ahead that even moving slightly forward past the finish line.
You can't make it too obvious, that's the thing.
Yeah.
You can't make it too obvious. It's such an awkward position to be in.
Yeah.
Because you want everybody to have fun, and that was my thing. It's like, no, but I don't want to like keep. Because first of all, it's not that fun for me to just keep winning necessarily. It's fun for a time, but then it's just like, okay, this is. I know I can win at this, whatever. Yeah. That's not as fun for me. I'm sure it's not as fun for other people, but then I don't want it to be too obvious that I'm now just losing.
Well, Crash Team Racing, like, now you know how I feel when I asked everyone, hey, do you want to just, play a bit of Crash Team Racing? It's like, no. I'm like, I can never play this game again. That's it. So I can just beat my own times forever. Except until I can, and then I've lost even that.
Can't beat myself.
Come on, man.
Oh, looking adorable. Come on, Frisk. Good girl. It's the struggles of being good at video games are so sad.
when you play video games as part of your personality and make it a part of you.
Yeah,
sometimes you get good at games and you stop.
Yeah. I mean,
the more you play a game, the less you can play a game.
Yeah, the thing that stops me from that a lot of the time is that I very rarely dedicate too much time to multiplayer games. Yeah. And I end up playing a huge variety of games, so I'm very rarely good at any single one. Yeah. Because I just don't stick around, But yeah, Smash Bros is looking so good though.
Speaking of
just over 100 stages, like this shit's crazy.
Yeah.
And and then 800 songs. Holy shit! I just did you see the
good remix?
The like went up to and then it kind of slowed down at 400 and they were like, nope, 800. It was great. Oh my god, yeah.
Like Brawl already had a lot of really fantastic versions of songs.
They just kept being like, oh yeah, we have this many of this. Oh, we have a shit ton of these. Yeah. It's just the amount of shit in that game is insane. And then they fucking showed the main menu, and one of the things is blurred out on it. I'm like, what is that? And I'm sure they have more characters to announce, which is crazy enough. And I'm really just hoping that the thing that's blurred out is like a single player thing, because I'm probably one of the only people that actually kind of like the Brawl single player.
No.
It was alright. I know you didn't.
No, I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying no.
Oh,
like,
okay.
No, you're not the only one.
I thought you were just saying no to the single. No.
No, I liked it. I think Subspace Emissary was actually a really nice break from...
Yeah, and it's nice to have something different to do that isn't just on these, stages.
Yeah.
So I really hope there is something comparable to that. Yeah, so I really, really hope... I mean, I can't think of what else that would be to take, because it's like a quarter of the main menu, essentially.
But yeah, speaking of, trying to hide things from people, a lot of shit in the background,
Plagiarism.
Plagiarism.
Yeah, okay, so fucking Philip... Mucus. Philip Mucus. That's what I should... Sorry. Anyway, he was accused of plagiarism by Boomstick Gaming, who did a really great video being like, hey, so here's my video, then here's their video.
Yep.
And it was so similar throughout. It's like you couldn't have even mixed up the points, guys. You couldn't have even been like, hey, I'll put this bit of plagiarism, mix that paragraph up with that one. Like, you could have done anything like that to at least disguise it, but you didn't.
I didn't see it at first from the video, but after I read the transcript versions, that really pointed it out for me, because seeing the exact same words in the exact same structure and the exact same lengths, and
so this was for a review of Dead Cells, which
go buy it,
which has been getting fantastic reviews and stuff, and I'm probably going to buy it again on Switch.
The thing with Dead Cells is that instead of focusing on your success, it really focuses on your failures and pushes you to do better. That's my original opinion.
Yeah,
any allegations of plagiarism,
so
stop looking at me, Jason Schreier.
So so that was in his apology video. You call Jason Schreier, who has a much better fucking track record and is 10 times the fucking journalist you'll ever be, you piece of shit.
I don't like Kotaku, but Jason Schreier does a fine job at what he does.
He's one of the good ones, and I'm pretty sure he was the author of They Bleed Pixels or something like that, or it's something like that. Either way, a book that really goes in depth on making of Pillars of Eternity, Destiny, Star Wars 1313, really fucking quality book, and that's because that's actual journalism. He did a lot of backstory stuff, research, interviews, didn't plagiarize that shit.
Well,
fuck you for calling
for all we know.
Yeah, and
Jason Schreier.
He's just basically saying feel free to do all this as if it's not kind of part of their job. This is still related to the gaming industry now. You have done this.
Yeah.
Sorry, but you're going to have people who are actually journalists still, who are actually working for places, investigating, and too bad.
And Jason Schreier did investigate, and it turns out he did it in the past as well, with his FIFA thing.
FIFA 18 or something?
Yeah, FIFA 18, he plagiarised a Nintendo Life article, and he was like, you can stop looking at... I took inspiration from it. No, it's even worse, because you can see exact copies of what was said from the Nintendo Life article.
So Yeah, so they took down the review, and then a day later, after they had already issued their initial statement, they were like, "Hey, we've parted ways with him." Nice way of saying we fired him, which is good. IGN handled it well. If you're using this as a reason to hate IGN, then that's really stupid, because first of all, this guy pretty much did everything himself, because he was the editor and everything, and he even made the video review. And the fact that he like boasted about it onto it, boasting, but like, just mentioned it on Twitter how this is the first video review I've ever like edited and put together myself. I hope you guys like it. Like, maybe we would if it was yours. But they even said, like, so they were saying sorry to Boomstick Gaming, they were saying sorry to the developers, and they were saying like, how much many people at the audience at the office really enjoyed Dead Cells. It's like, and this guy Philip Mucus fucking actually apparently played through it all,
full of mucus.
And it's like, if the boy played through the entire thing, why did he, like, it's even more of a thing of, well, why the fuck would you plagiarize it then, even if you don't?
It's not plagiarism. Okay, he did research.
It was an accidental thing.
It was never intentional.
It's never intentional. That's what he says in his apology. He never once actually apologizes. He takes full responsibility, but never says, "I apologize for plagiarizing this work."
Again, he never says, like, the way he says, "I take full responsibility," is, "I take full responsibility for what has happened," not "I take full responsibility for what I did." It's less, "I'm sorry," and more, "I'm sorry you're offended."
Yeah.
He's not taking responsibility for what he did. Caught. He's saying, "I regret the consequences," not "I regret doing it."
Yeah. He does not own up to it. Like, it's a bad enough look, to be caught out as a plagiarist.
Yeah.
But then it's even worse to try and act like it was accidental to that extent. Because it would be one thing if there was a paragraph that was similar because you remembered reading about it. But when it's the entire thing and the entire fucking structure, you can't hide at that point. It's so obvious.
Oh, but yeah.
It's so obvious. And it's even more obvious because, like, that review came out like 4 days before his did. So it's like, of course he fucking did.
And he didn't say, like, he
got lazy.
I remembered it and that's like why it's similar or anything. He was talking about doing his research and he took like sort of inspiration from it and stuff. Like, he's not saying it was a passive thing. He's saying he actively.
So that's one of the other things that he said. Was like, when I review a game, I like to do a lot of research to make sure I got the full picture of it. So I guess this also includes other reviews.
Which is not the research you should be doing.
Which, first of all, isn't the research you should be doing, because it can end up as this, even though this is an extreme version of that, and because it was full-on plagiarism. But also, because it can influence your, like, because even I've done it in the past where part of my thoughts on something have been like, I remember hearing about it there. So I've not necessarily taken that thing. It's usually, I didn't think of that before, let me talk about it. But I still usually use my own words to talk about it. I just didn't necessarily think about talking about that aspect of the game, because games have a lot of fucking aspects, right? But at the same time, I'm not a professional reviewer. And if I was getting paid to review something, I would focus on that and just do solely that. I wouldn't read a bunch of reviews. Like when I did the Mission Impossible Fallout thing, I'd written that entire thing before I'd watched or read any other reviews. I had seen like the Rotten Tomatoes score. That was it, basically.
Yeah.
And I still didn't let that. I had heard people saying like, "Oh, it's the best one yet" and stuff. But I even didn't let that influence me, because I was still like, "Oh no, I don't necessarily think it's bad, but it's on par with the others." And so when he's saying doing this research, not only is it bad enough that you do other that this research seems to include other reviewers, which is stupid enough, but then even just researching other bits about the game, for me, that's not how you write a fucking review. Because you know what? People who play the game aren't going into it with all of this research and stuff. They're going into it to play the game.
Yeah.
And you should just play it, and you should give your account, give your experiences, and give your opinion on it. Anything outside of that should not be a factor. You are judging the game. You're not judging the development process behind it.
And you're not judging the reception to it.
Yeah, you could mention like, hey, okay, this seems really rough, and I think it's because from what I've heard, it's had a troubled development. But that shouldn't influence your overall score or whatever.
That's not you talking about the game itself. That's you explaining why you think the game is that way.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not, this is the game being this way, it's this is why the game is this way.
And hopefully it's not you saying, oh, it's okay because they clearly ran out of time.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's still not acceptable in a sense.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you're recommending, should a person buy this game?
Yep.
They don't care. Like, were they rushed and were they in horrible conditions? That's a separate problem entirely.
Yep.
The main thing you're focusing on when you are reviewing something, which is totally different to, say, a critique, I would say, because a critique is more critiquing something as like a piece of art. Regardless, you don't think about money, you don't think about somebody's necessarily first experience. Like, is it worth your money? That's what you do when you're reviewing something.
Yeah.
A review is this worth your money? Should you play this? Here's why not. That's what it should be.
Yeah.
And you're only going to get that from playing the fucking game and talking about it. All this extra stuff might be interesting for you to know, but it should not affect your review anyway.
No.
So that's a completely other criticism of him, besides the blatant plagiarism. That's just okay, I don't think you were a good reviewer to begin with then, because in my opinion anyway, that's just not how you should review something. It's like if I reviewed God of War or something after watching the developer commentary that PlayStation had put up on their channel. I wouldn't do that. Or at least I would make it clear that I had watched it or something like that, so that people understand where I'm coming from for certain points. And I probably just wouldn't call it a review at that point.
Or at least not bring in any points from
the
exactly. Commentary.
Yeah, because sometimes something like developer commentary, or you hear something and then you're like, oh, so that's why that's like that. And it gives you a different outlook on it, and it could be more positive or more negative. But the fact is, when you're playing it, and when you just had played it, or watched it, or whatever, that wasn't in your head, and that won't be in most people's heads.
Yeah. Because
it really shouldn't be. The piece should speak for itself, and you should be speaking about that. That's it.
Actually, you should do research into the game itself, otherwise you end up like the Cuphead reviewer guy who also sort of reviewed Mass Effect 2 a long time ago, completely failed to understand the talent system, and as a subsequent consequence had Mass Effect 3 simplified.
So
understand the game you're doing.
Yes.
Is the point of that.
Yeah, that's more... Because you could even just ask a friend about that. You could ask even... you don't even
I don't
necessarily
think you
have
should
to
ask a friend. I think you should very much go onto a wiki or something, because even a friend will have opinions that will sway you one way or another.
That's true. I'd say, if you don't seem to understand something, then you could always ask somebody else to kind of explain it to you without giving their opinion on it. You could research it in that sense. Try to leave out any sort of opinion about the system.
Yep.
Just so you understand it, because that means that you are better equipped to talk about it. Because then not only can you talk about it then, but you can also possibly nail down why you didn't understand it, and then you could critique that side of it. Okay, I don't think this was necessarily explained so clearly. Maybe I missed a tooltip somewhere, etc.
Yeah.
But then at least you're explaining that and you're reviewing it, Yeah. And you don't have the developers being like, well, this is what we intended by this, because it's well, I don't give a fuck if I didn't get that intent when I was playing it. Then it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I should be getting that. There's certain things that I kind of like even more about God of War after hearing Christopher Judge talk about it and how much he connected with the character of Kratos and all that.
Yeah.
But that shouldn't necessarily factor into a review.
Because that's
And that
not the
was way
game
after it
itself. That's again
Yeah.
a reason why the game is like that, not
Yeah.
what the game is. It's
Yeah.
why the voice acting is so good, but it's not the voice acting is so good.
Yeah, and like I might do a piece on that and talking about it, but I wouldn't fucking call it a review.
Yeah.
Because that's not what a review should be in my eyes anyway. So that's just another reason why this guy, not a great reviewer, plagiarism or otherwise. Like, I know he's a plagiarist. He's not getting work ever again. He's not getting work.
Don't. Oh, since we obviously have such a massive following, like we're gonna say the exact same thing he did. Don't go and swarm him. Don't go and send hateful messages to him. Actually, don't.
Yeah, no, actually don't. Yeah.
Like he's a garbage human. Well, no, okay. He's a fine human, but he's a garbage journalist.
He's a garbage.
There's nothing morally wrong, but definitely ethically terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Like
it's about
because what I was saying. Stop it. One of my things was that the position that he was in was like arguably like a dream job for many, not even just myself, but I'm sure many people would love to be in that position. And to get lazy, I can't be bothered fucking reviewing this great game. It's not even like it's a bad one that you had to suffer through.
No.
Like, even the FIFA 18 thing, I can understand more because, like, especially if you don't like sports games. But in which case, why the fuck are they assigning you to it?
Even the God of War, I mean, not the God of War, the God Hand situation was more understandable than this. Because I actually learned about the situation behind
the really low score.
Yeah. Essentially, it was that no one in the office wanted to review it because none of them could really play it properly.
Yeah,
like
it's a tough game to get into for sure.
The easy mode is actually just the regular game, except they stop you from being able to hit combat level 3, which is death mode. Normal mode is the regular game, but you can hit death mode. And hard is you can hit ultra death mode. And in Japan, their normal is our easy.
Of course it is. As the case is Japan's crazy.
That means it's harder for us because our hard mode is our normal mode is their hard mode.
Oh yeah, so most people will play on normal and then that's weird.
It's harder for Western audiences because it's such a Western game, ironically.
That's so strange,
It's goofy and silly, but it's a super Western heavy
it seems like
game,
and then to get lazy in such a great position, you're getting, like, I know it's not you just play games for a living, like, it's obviously harder than that, but the fact is it's still a great position to be in. It's privileged in many aspects in that sense. You get access to games early and you can play great games like fucking Dead Cells. You can play great games like that, and it's a joy to talk about games when they are that good. Like, I love talking about stuff like God of War and Hollow Knight and all of these games that I really love because it's just fun to talk and explain why they're so good and try and get other people into them. And especially when you're working for someone like IGN, which has so many eyeballs on it, automatically you're given that platform to reach a huge audience to recommend something to them, and that's great. And you just fucking got lazy, and you just couldn't be bothered to review this one, just like you did with FIFA 18. Like, fuck you. When it's something that especially, like, I want to do.
It's something we both want to do. I just don't talk about it.
I just get more frustrated by it because I'm like, you are taking up space in this industry. You're just taking up space.
It's hard enough to get into it.
Yeah. You started out on YouTube, same as me. I'm just not there yet.
I actually got nearly a position in a sort of reviewing position in a sort of low profile gaming place a while back. I think it was Goomba Gaming or something like that. Some very low thing.
I did have a position at like one that started up, we would go like push start. But that was like when I was in high school. I couldn't get the position because I was too young. No, the thing is, I actually got it, but it was really nice of them to even do it anyway, because I was just starting out on YouTube. I was probably doing it for free. I was like, what the fuck? This is a real thing. They actually want me to. But sure enough, because, high school and teenagers are lazy, but also high school, it takes up a lot of time and energy and all of this stuff. I lost it, like, after a few months, I think, just because I wasn't contributing enough. And it's like, I don't know what you guys thought you were doing by hiring somebody this young, because clearly they needed more people or whatever.
Yeah.
But nowadays I wouldn't take something like that so lightly.
Yeah.
But back then you just don't have that sort of concept of how big something like that may or may not be. Now the guy who invited me along to that, I think he's like working for PlayStation UK or something.
Nice.
Like it's fucking cool. So yeah, probably not like the exact position that he was thinking of, but still within the games industry, and that's awesome because very few people get to be there.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he's not going to go plagiarize a bunch of shit. Because most people really love their job and want, first of all, they want to keep it. And second of all, they just want to tell people their own opinions. I just don't understand why you would want to tell people other opinions.
Yeah.
Like, how do you not have your own, especially on a game like Dead Cells?
Yeah.
Like, I've only played it for a few hours. I already have like opinions on it.
Yeah.
Like, they're probably not that detailed, not enough to justify a review, obviously, but I still have them. I'm not going to go steal somebody else's fucking review.
Well, speaking of really fantastic single-player focused experiences that are on Steam, Fallout 76 is none of those. It's not a one.
No, it's not single player, and apparently, so it's not on Steam either. So
Nope.
that was a big thing, wasn't it? Fallout 76 is going to be on Bethesda's client because you really need more clients
You've got
to install.
Uplay, Origin,
Steam.
GOG, Steam. It's only 4, but it's enough.
That's Battle.net.
Battle.net.
Yeah. Because Blizzard put out quality shit, but yeah, of course they got Battle.net.
Maybe take 4 of those. And that's just because we're throwing away Origins, because Origin is fucking garbage. Uplay is whatever, it's fine, it's functional.
Origin has really fast downloads, I'll give them that. Their download speeds are really good.
But it's EA.
It is EA, but their download speeds are
Uplay
really
is
good.
whatever. It has the Ubisoft Club, which is like really cool, because like you get points from playing games, and you buy
Yeah,
stuff
that's
with them,
alright.
like backgrounds and soundtracks.
Yeah, it's cute.
It's nice. Steam is Steam, obviously.
Oh, of course, you've got the Epic Games launcher for all of you Fortnite players. Which, like, say that seriously, there's a lot of Fortnite players.
Discount that as
they,
Fortnite.
And they need the Epic Games launcher for that.
Yeah.
Like, because that's not on Steam, that's not on anything else, so that's another launcher. And then now Bethesda want you to have it, and they're saying it's not necessarily the case going forward for every game, but it's like,
That's even stupider.
Why have it for the oh, you can have. You can have.
You've got the hex thing that. Oh no, the curse. That's it. The old curse client.
Oh yeah.
Turned Twitch client. The Twitch client is not good.
I've not used it yet. I've got a bunch of free games apparently on it, but I've not used it. Yeah.
The Try on Worlds one.
Yeah. Especially if you play any MMO, then you have a client for that as well.
Yes. The Guild Wars client, of course.
Yeah. Like, we don't need more clients, Bethesda. And the fact that they've said Doom Eternal is still undecided makes me think, oh no, you're just... It's gonna come to it. It's gonna come to it. Without a doubt. God damn it.
Yeah, let's move on from that though, because there's not much to say on that except don't.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how 76 turns out. It's not my sort of thing by the sounds of it, but hopefully people who enjoy it will enjoy it, and hopefully they don't monetize it horribly. Like they have the potential to, but they've not done that really so far with any of their games. So I think Bethesda are really good at presenting things, and they seem to do a good job with like community goodwill and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Despite what a buggy mess a lot of their stuff is, less so with the stuff that they publish, like Doom.
Yeah.
They're a really good publisher now. So I feel like they're a little too in tune with the community and what's going on to do that.
I don't think
we'll see.
They are
I know
for Fallout 76.
You have less faith in them.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But I think they understand. They're a little too self-aware. of
think
everything.
after Fallout 4, they don't really understand what the community wants in terms of Fallout anymore, because it's just more Fallout 4, but not even what Fallout is anymore.
Oh yeah, which is why it's 76 and like basically a spin-off title. It's essentially a spin-off title.
It's a spin-off title, but using Fallout 4's garbage system of everything. It's like, oh, you can change appearance now. You could do that in all 3 New Vegas and 4.
I was gonna say, yeah, you could do that in a lot.
You can take snapshots now. I'm not going to.
I'm not.
I only use the camera in New Vegas because you had to for a quest.
I could take screenshots in all the other games as well. Thanks, guys. And yeah.
Yeah, just press F12.
Yeah, exactly. It's really easy. Yeah. Okay. So then you wanted to tell me about something called Abstractium.
Abstractium. It's a game on Steam. It's a really shitty platformer. People have found out. Oh, well, they looked at their RAM usage. I believe it's been taken down now because it's.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
Hang on, search up. See if it is taken down.
Yeah, but tell me. Keep telling me.
I want to see first if it hasn't. No, okay, it's been taken down.
It looks like it has.
Because if it hadn't been, are you okay?
It's hard when you're not looking at it, and I don't. Yeah, I think it's been taken down. Yeah,
yes, absolutely. Have a Google. Google.
A goggle of it. Yeah. Anyway, go on.
It's a game which people found out. Oh, well, this has taken up rather a lot of RAM.
Interesting.
And the developer said, well. Oh, it might not be Abstractium then. Well, there's a game on Steam. Yes.
Abstractism.
It's a virus crypto miner.
I had a feeling it was crypto stuff.
Yeah, it was using a lot of RAM space to absolutely Abstractism, that's it. It was absolutely killing people's PCs. The developer said, oh, it's because you have the graphics turned up too high.
Yeah, because that's what uses RAM. Fuck off.
People were like, no. It's a really shitty 2D platformer. You can stop. And it turned out it was crypto mining, and it had items in it which looked exactly. You can see the graphics there.
Mm-hmm.
It's
very simple.
garbage.
It's a block. It's a block-based game.
It had items in it which were made to be scam replications of very pricey TF2 items, so that people could trade them in use for scamming others with in TF2.
Solid.
So not only have you got the garbage, cryptocurrency mining going on with the game itself, you've also got the trading system essentially nearly causing a complete crash of the TF2 economy.
Sweet. Awesome. My favourite.
And yeah, it's...
That's what it looks like, guys.
So yeah, the graphics look like that. It's just blocks and stuff.
Yeah,
and
it's...
And if you go over to that image there, that one there. Wow, that looks a lot like a TF2 item, doesn't it?
Oh wow, except it says...
Abstractium.
Yeah, it says Abstractism, strange professional kill streak, Australian... Even Australian?
That's funny. Kills with a rocket launcher in a sort of block platformer game.
Yeah,
That's curious.
I mean, at least they've got rid of it, but this is the problem. Games are flooding Steam. And we're like, well,
Oh yeah.
They clearly do some quality control because they're not all viruses. But it's like, now one has got through that. It's a virus. Bitcoin is outdated. We currently use Abstractism to mine only Monero coins. What? Abstractism does not mine any of cryptocurrency. You're playing on high graphics settings because they take a bit of CPU and GPU power required for post-processing. Wait, what? But that's not RAM. That's CPU and GPU power. Okay, so that was a developer response on Steam.
That was a developer response saying we don't use the game to mine cryptocurrency. We only use it to mine this cryptocurrency.
I was going to say, what? Bitcoin is outdated. Oh.
We currently use this game to mine coins.
Oh.
This game does not mine coins.
It's ridiculous.
Literally like a heel turn immediately.
Yeah,
or a
that's
face
insane.
turn. Heel turn.
That's insane that it's even a thing.
Oh yeah.
It shouldn't be a thing. It shouldn't have
No.
been a thing. But at least it's over.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Steam quality control, please. 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 Yeah. Speaking of quality control. Monster Hunter World. It's pretty quality. But not entirely. Apparently, so I think the port is pretty solid. It's not the best thing ever, but it's alright. I'm getting, now that I've tweaked some of the graphics, because there are some like the volumetric lighting you can put on like medium or low, and it looks basically the same as the highest.
You should watch a video by a guy called, I think it's 3 Clicks Philip. It's either 3-2 or Clicks Philip. He's got 3 channels. He's usually a CSGO player, but he does really interesting in-depth commentaries on like the gaming industry and stuff, and one of them was graphics have stopped improving or something like that, and it's essentially like you can turn, in a lot of games, in like 99% of modern games, you can turn graphics to medium and it'll have essentially no impact on looks but a massive impact on performance. It's really interesting to watch.
Yeah, I went through a lot of different things, because there's a good Digital Foundry video comparing a lot of them, and just trying to hit the same kind of performance that the Xbox One X had.
Yeah.
Basically on like a mid-range PC. And so they were saying, hey, you can turn this, like, don't turn it off because then it starts to look a little weird, like unintentional. But yeah, you can turn that. There's various like subsurface scattering, and a few other lighting things that are like so hazy already, and they're such like fine touches that you're really not going to notice them being on medium or even low. Rather than the highest, but your frame rate will. So after just making a few of those tweaks, I went from 60 to 55. To be fair though, that was when I was streaming as well, so that probably had some impact on it, to like pretty much 90 to 100.
Nice.
But that's also because I want like a GTX 1080. But Zebi doesn't have a hugely powerful PC. I think he's got like a 750 Ti or something, and he's like, yeah, I'm getting almost constant 60 FPS after tweaking the graphics as well, and that's still way more than the PS4 does. Like, because that's the thing with it on consoles, is that it has an uncapped frame rate and it just keeps going between 30 and 40. It doesn't dip below 30, which is nice, but because it's not consistent, it's still weird. And that's on the PS4 Pro. It goes between 30 and 40, and even the same on the Xbox One X, which is like the world's most powerful console. Can't hit 60 FPS on it. It is a pretty demanding game still.
The world's most powerful console is a bit of a funny thing to say.
Yeah, because it's still a console.
It's the world's, hardest eggshell. Cool.
Quality. But it as a game though, I'm really enjoying it. I'm only doing the single player stuff, so I can't really comment on the quality of the online, which just seems, because it's got mixed reviews on Steam. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm really enjoying it. But most of them are either mouse and keyboard support is shit because mouse acceleration is forced. Yeah, exactly. To me, you should just be playing it on a controller anyway. But yeah, one time I tried, because what's actually quite nice is that all menu at least supports mouse cursor stuff. So sometimes I'll actually just go through menus with the mouse cursor. But then I use the mouse very briefly to just move the camera around. I'm like, oh my god, this is the worst feeling thing ever. Oh, it felt dreadful. It was so bad. It's like, yeah, no, I can't. You can't play this with a keyboard and mouse.
Mouse acceleration should not exist.
It shouldn't exist, let alone be forced. What the fuck are you guys doing? It's 2018. Oh, it's 2018, and mouse acceleration is forced. They can't figure out online apparently, because a lot of people are having like bad time with it in terms of like quite a few disconnects and stuff like that, which sucks because it is quite a co-op heavy game.
Oh yeah, it's Monster Hunter.
Yeah, it's got a lot of focus on that. You can play it single player, because I've gotten to like the second world or whatever, second area, just fine, and I'm really enjoying it in single player.
That's good.
It's really fucking good. It looks great. It plays great, especially if you've got a solid frame rate, which is why I wanted to wait for it on this, because I didn't want my first time in Monster Hunter getting used to it. to be like a 30 FPS sort of thing. I wanted that reaction time and just for it to feel better.
Yeah.
And it does.
Yeah.
And yeah, it takes a little bit of getting into. I definitely recommend like have somebody who knows their shit. Like you've got Zavilas who knows his Monster Hunter shit very clearly. So any questions I have, he'll just answer them outright and choose an easier weapon. I've chosen the longsword, which has very simple combos, but it's still really satisfying to use.
Yeah.
Especially when you know like what attacks do the most damage and how to build up to them, because there's so many kind of hidden mechanics, because like you can build up a gorge thing which has like goes from like a white outer glow to yellow to red, and I don't remember that being mentioned anywhere in the game, and that will have an effect on a certain combo finisher that'll make it do more damage if you built it up further.
Right.
Which is really good, and it's a cool mechanic. I just kind of wish I was told about it from somebody who like the game, you know, would have been nice.
Yeah.
The UI isn't amazing. That's one of the other things that makes it kind of confusing. But once you get into it, and once you get a bit used to all of that and all of this like craziness, kind of like it kind of reminded me of Dark Souls in that sense. Not to like it's the Dark Souls of Monster Hunter. It as in it feels a little overwhelming at first, but then especially like kind of how you explain Dark Souls to me, after you've had somebody who is there to do that, then you're like, okay, it makes sense, and then you can kind of pass on that information to anybody else. It's really nice. And then you can just end up enjoying it, because honestly it's really fun to just even sneak around monsters, let alone like fighting them. The fights can be really fun and enjoyable, especially if they go on for a long time. Like it, I love the way that they kind of go into different phases. They've got the AI is incredible and the animations are amazing on the monsters. Everything, the animation team in that game is incredible. And then the AI is great. Just when you're hunting something like even one of the first things like a great Jagras, and you stumble upon it and it's already like eating another monster in front of you, it's awesome. And then when I was just exploring, I was trying to find like some mushrooms or something for a quest, and I stumbled upon a monster that I was really not ready to take care of. So I was just like sneaking around it, and as I was like sneaking behind it, the fucking what's it called, like Antholon or something like that. Basically, the T-Rex one like could hear the roar from behind me, and then I looked around and was like, oh, he's right there, okay, I'm just gonna like sneak off this way now, just like in between these two monsters that could kill me very, very fucking easily. But that was really fun, like, and you can have that, and they even, I remember them saying in a bunch of demonstrations and stuff, Monster AI just kept doing shit that they didn't expect, and not like glitchy, just like, it's just unpredictable in a really fun way. Like how they're going to interact with each other. Are they going to lead you into this place where the monsters will actually help them kill you? Or are these... because a valid tactic is getting the attention of one of the monsters and leading it to a bigger monster so that it'll just kill it for you pretty much, which is really fun. It's really nice and intuitive in that way. Difficult at first, definitely difficult to get into, but as long as you prioritize like staying alive, and you know you kind of take your time with it, then it's super enjoyable, and the loop, the game loop is really good. As soon as you know where everything is in this like big hub that you have, you're just like, okay, I'm going to go in, then I'll turn all my resource collection in there, then I'll go to upgrade my armor or forge new stuff there, and then go right back out, and it's really satisfying. They've nailed that loop. I mean, it's like the fifth game in, probably more than that, including spin-off-y type things. It feels great. It's really, really good. I'd recommend it, but you might want to wait until they sort out mouse acceleration if you plan on playing with keyboard and mouse, and then also some online stuff. I have no doubt that they will sort it out, because I think they've been pretty good at supporting it post-release. But yeah, that's the thing. So quick shout out to Gintama. It's a pretty good show. So just now that we're past games, I finished Place Further Than the Universe. I might actually do a video on that. Just a quick little one talking about It's really nice. It's a really pleasant show. Kind of what I was telling you about the other day. But then, yeah, we just started Gintama, which has like over 300 episodes, I'm sure you're aware. Do you know Gintama?
Vaguely.
Yeah, because it's like super long running. But one of those that I guess is kind of comparable to something like JoJo's or like One Piece in terms of it's still quality.
Yeah.
Well, fortunately for the anime is still quality as well, unlike One Piece, which many would argue. But apparently the manga's still amazing, which is crazy because that thing's been going on for 20 years. Absolutely insane. And it's still like number one in Shonen Jump. Insane. Anyway, but yeah, Gintama is really good, really funny. We're up to like episode only like 5 or whatever. We just wanted to start it because we're never going to get through the entire thing. We being me and my mum. But we're both really enjoying it so far because we just kind of wanted there to be a show that like, hey, if there's nothing else on, we just reliably go back to that one and be like, count on it to be an enjoyable thing to watch because it's really funny. A few like references and stuff to very Japanese-y things that we're not going to get, but for the most part, just solid humor that's just really enjoyable. It's been going on since like 2006, so it's in like 4x3. And apparently it takes up to like maybe episode 200 to get it to 16x9. But apparently like it takes them so long. Like really when they pass the point where they really should have joined, every other show at that point in being widescreen. That they actually make a joke about it in the show because it breaks the fourth wall quite a bit as well. Super enjoyable. Great thing. If you want to just start off a funny show, Gintama's pretty good and you got a lot there. So Go enjoy. Yeah. But let's go to the
movie corner. Yeah.
The movie corner. Is that what we're calling it now?
Sure.
Why not? The movie corner.
You didn't watch it.
I did a few months ago, but I have a really vivid memory of it, and it's not a pleasant one. So I didn't really want to dive back into. Because it's not a cheerful film. It's really fucking sad and
well,
depressing.
then you're gonna hate like in a few podcasts from now when I suggest that movie.
But the thing is, at least it'll be for the first time. This was one of those films that. So when I went to, and that's why I remember it so vividly, is because I just remember being in the theater because I just went to see it on my own, like in like a lunch break or something.
Well, that was your first mistake.
Seeing it alone. Because it was just I had a break from work, like in between shifts.
It's like if you're watching Saw with friends and it's a stupid fun time, if you're watching it alone, you're a kind of really weird person.
Well, I don't think this is ever a stupid fun time.
It's comparable though when like you watch it yourself, it's just kind of sad. You watch it with others, it's an emotional sort of sharing thing.
I guess I don't know. It's a unique film. It's weird. Okay, I probably will though. Oh, I don't know. We'll see.
We can watch it together on SyncTube or something because it's on YouTube the entire movie, which means we can watch it over there.
Well, you could come here, or I could go there.
We'll watch SyncTube and we can watch it from the comfort of our own homes.
No. Then you don't get the connection.
But I like
get the touch.
I like being in my bed.
We can both be in your bed.
Oh.
This will get the fan.
Demonetise. Demonetise.
This will get the fan out going, finally. But yeah. So it was just like the film just has such an oppressive atmosphere of dark sadness.
Nothing good happens.
Nothing is fucking cheerful about that goddamn
day.
film. It's just a sad film. Because the thing is, even if I had watched it within the past few months and it was a different film that was like really cheerful and enjoyable, then I might have been more inclined to go back to it.
Would you watch Coco again if I suggested that? Because that is what I'm going to be suggesting.
Yeah, no, and I know it is.
Yeah.
Because also it's been a lot longer since I've seen Coco, because that was like late last year or very early this year.
Fair enough.
Either way, whenever it was at the cinemas, which I think was late last year.
Probably.
I think it was around December, January. Either way, that's been a long ass time. This was only in like May or something that I watched this at the cinema. And I think, especially if I watch it at the cinema, then it's a lot more, like, I take it all in, especially if I'm alone as well.
Yeah.
There was no way to avoid it. That was the thing. It just felt like, wow, I am stuck here. I mean, obviously I could leave, but I ain't gonna waste my fucking money.
It's a fantastic movie as well.
I'm just trapped in this darkness. And it's so sad, and can't something nice happen? No. Oh no. So it's about yeah, of course. So it's about Joaquin Phoenix.
Amazing. His role in this.
Who is a fucking fantastic actor, as usual. He is in my favourite movie ever, Her. And then this is a very different role from that, which I love. The guy has such diverse roles, and he nails it in every single one of them, I feel. He kills it here, even though it's very minimal. He doesn't say all that much, but everything he says is kind of quite purposeful.
Okay, so for those who didn't, who were tuning in new or something, we watched You Were Never Really Here. Joaquin Phoenix plays a man who...
Joaquin Phoenix.
I'm going to keep doing it. Who plays...
Mr. Phoenix.
A character whose job it is to track down missing girls.
Mm-hmm.
He gets hired to do a job. First it starts with him finishing up a job, trying to kill himself, not killing himself. He sees his boss's son see him coming back home from that job, so he cuts connection with the boss, because he doesn't want them to know that he's actually caring for his mother, who's quite mentally ill.
Yeah.
She's very infirm.
Just, another sad thing.
He gets hired to track down a senator's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets there, and when he gets back, everyone he knows has been fucking killed. Yeah. Everyone, his mother, his boss, his boss's son, the guy who hired him, everyone he knows is dead. He realises that the guy, the senator, essentially was trading his daughter to another senator.
Isn't that the case? Yeah. Doesn't it turn out to be like a setup, essentially? He's
trading his daughter to another senator to earn favour, but then gets sad about it and kills himself.
Because he's a fucking scumbag human being. Like, what a piece of shit. And then realize what he's...
And then...
It's fucked up.
It ends with him almost shooting himself in a diner, and the girl who he now lives with, I think, because neither of them have anyone else, is like, it's a beautiful day, we should go. And he's like, yeah,
I guess I gotta live through this. So he has PTSD from, like, other things?
From, like, seeing kids die and people he knows die, and his father abusing him, and...
Yeah, that was one of the other things that really put me on edge with the film, is the jump scares, which I'm very susceptible to jump scares. You know this. Some are just outright, this is clearly supposed to make you jump because of, like, he flashes back to whatever
it's not
PTSD.
It's not an unnecessary, loud, screamy jump scare, though. It's a...
There's one like that.
I wouldn't say it's unnecessary. I'd say this is him.
Yeah, no, it's putting you in his headspace, which is terrifying.
Don't want to be there. Never take me back.
Exactly.
Please.
That's what I felt throughout the entire thing. Yeah. Why am I here? Oh God, why have I come to see this? And then but because so much of it is quiet and has no dialogue. Mm-hmm. So then a lot of the time, even just cutting from one scene to, hey, we're outside and there's a lot of traffic, even that made me jump. Mm-hmm. It was bad. And that's why I spent, like, especially like the last third of the movie, because I had just had that happen to me so many times. I was just like this for, like, pretty much the entire thing. Like, I could still hear it okay. It was loud. The speakers in that place were loud, especially for more of an independent cinema. But I was just like that for the entire...
Yep.
It was bad. And then it turned out that it didn't really happen again. Oh.
Two things. First of all, what did you think of the radio scene? Where he goes to find the man who the daughter had been traded to. He finds him with his throat slit open on the floor, and he plays the radio and lies down with him and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That was... I think that's the scene that really got to me the first time personally. That made me cry. It's... Even if you don't like the guy who did it, like, it's still such a...
It's a powerful scene, yeah.
It's a really powerful scene because it's this horrible human who... Our boy, Joaquin... he takes a moment with because he's so devoid of anyone at all.
Yeah.
He takes what he can get.
Yeah. It was because you don't expect that with, because in most things the henchmen are just henchmen. They're just there to be killed and stuff, and then to get that bit of like kind of humanity or whatever, and you kind of just realize, it's probably just a guy doing his job,
Yeah.
Like, it's not a great job or anything.
It's a necessary job.
Yeah. But it's what he needs to do. And then that was just really sad.
Yeah.
That was really fucking depressing. Yeah, and to be doing that right after he finds out his mother's dead. The bit that probably got to me the most was the like underwater bit, because that's with his mother, isn't it? He's like putting her in a lake.
Mm-hmm. She buries him he buries her in a lake, and then immediately after tries to kill himself again. Yeah.
Like, it seems like he's almost doing that in the lake anyway. But I think like it was weird how beautifully shot it was, like under with the light and everything, and I was like,
it's
wow,
an amazingly made film.
This is really pretty and beautiful, but also so sad. With the context, obviously.
For him, it would be a beautiful thing, though. Again, we're in his his mindset, headspace, and sort of this moment of maybe near release for him is going to feel like
peace.
It's peace.
Peaceful.
Even if it's the worst way to go.
Yeah, it's really horrible.
We've seen him try to suffocate himself no less than like 5 times before that.
It's really fucking bad.
But it's an amazing movie. It's an incredibly powerful movie, and
it's pretty good.
I'd like to discuss sort of the title and how I think it links to the main theme of the movie.
Okay.
You Were Never Really Here. Obviously, it's a really abstract sort of...
Yeah.
It's an odd title.
And it's not like one of the characters just says it in the movie. Yeah. It's not one of those things. Roll credits,
I think it links to the main theme, in my opinion, the main theme of the movie, which is parenthood. Because that is a really, really strong theme throughout. You've got his boss and his son who die because solely they have a connection to him. Mm-hmm. You've got him and his mother. You've got the senator and the senator's daughter.
Of course.
You've got the senator's daughter and the guy she's given to, and you've got him and the senator's daughter. Yeah. And they're sort of all... And of course the big one, I don't know how I put that last, him and his father. That's the big one.
Yeah.
And I think it's sort of the best parents were never here sort of thing. Like, his mother is mentally not really there. And
I could
he
see
was
that.
never really there for the senator's daughter up until now, but he's clearly the best parent she'll get, because the alternatives were sex slave and her own father, who gave her up to be a sex slave.
Clearly not a good father. Yeah, I could see that. No, I was thinking about it in terms of his mental state of him never really being there, in terms of like he almost doesn't want to be present in any of the situations he's in, because who would want to be, because there's such horrible things that he either has to do as a job, or that he's now being forced to do because he's just forced into it because of those circumstances.
I think the fact that it's you were never really here, though, and like here is such a complicated thing for that to be a sense of him, because that's like us in the position of where he is telling him personally that he wasn't with us. Which it's a very strange...
There's various interpretations of it, I think the parent one is good. I wouldn't. Yeah. Just I'm. Maybe we should search it up afterwards if the director or anything has said anything about that.
I don't want to personally.
Fair.
I want, like, a lot of that movie is very personal interpretation
A lot of,
stuff.
and a lot of people can react to a lot. Like, that's why if somebody doesn't like it, I can kind of understand why, because it's definitely not for everybody.
No,
and especially for it being so quiet throughout.
Yeah.
Like, there's just so little dialogue.
It's quiet, but like the music when it is there.
Music's really good, yeah.
The soundtrack is phenomenal.
But it's just like, it feels like the script must have been so small for it, right? Because it's just very little talking.
Yeah.
But in a way that also feels quite realistic, because it's like, people aren't talking and monologuing all the time in real life. That's not how that is. So yeah.
Who just spend like 2 hours just talking?
Yeah, I know, right? That? Fucking weirdos, man.
Idiots.
God.
Just like, a couple of gay noobs.
Absolutely fuckers. Yeah, no, but it did have its moments where I was like, oh wow, this is really beautiful in a horrible way.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was a weird film. It was a weird experience. I'm not sure if I ever want to experience it again.
Don't want to experience it again, but you can't deny that, like, it's an experience that
it's stuck in my mind. Like,
yeah,
it shows it. Yeah, it's good.
I would rather have seen it than not. Ultimately.
Yeah, and then especially the ending with him just fucking killing himself in his mind, obviously.
Yeah.
Because like. I mean, you knew that there was something off about it with nobody reacting to it.
Yeah.
That was so weird and surreal, and kind of more to the point of, maybe conveying that this violence, this horrible violence, is just kind of more accepted, and it's like, people kill themselves, and it's like, whatever, that's just a part of life,
Yeah.
Pretend it didn't happen, move on.
Well, it's part of the...
It's so gory as well. It's such a gory fucking headshot.
It's part of his life, I think, in that, like, in the entirety of his life, his secrecy. It's like he hides away his mother. He cuts contacts with people who, like, see where he goes. He hides his job away.
Yeah.
So, like, sort of people ignoring him and not seeing him would be his imagination, because he wouldn't want people to see him and notice him.
Yeah. No, it's a really good ending.
Yeah. It's a beautiful day.
Yeah, it's a really sad ending as well. Yeah, there's no real closure for anybody. There's, like, you could argue that there's closure for the little girl. She's out of all that shit now, but now she's with, like, murderer. She's with a hitman,
Let's put the difference between a murderer and someone whose job it is to kill people in order to save innocence.
Yeah, he's still a murderer, though. That's the thing. Like, obviously...
I think he's a killer. I don't think he's a murderer. I think the difference between a murderer and a killer is that a murderer is someone who does it to people who don't deserve it. I think a killer is...
Okay. I could see that.
Yeah, like, a killer is still a criminal, obviously.
I could see that.
I'm not saying they're not a criminal. I'm just saying
obviously.
They're not doing it...
And he's got... it's weird, because even though he's got weirdly more of a heart than a lot of the people who hadn't killed anyone, but were about to engage in, like, sex slave stuff.
Yeah.
Which is really fucked up, but he has enough of a heart to be like, well, I'm not letting that shit happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you're basically on the run at that point still.
Yeah.
And it's not, that's why it's not a happy ending. I would, part of me would have been satisfied with it either way if it was just him killing himself finally, or cutting back. Like, either one I would have been okay with. But part of it is really sad as well. That's one of the things that made it really sad, because of, like, okay, finally you've got her, you've saved her, and you can be with her, maybe bring you a lot more humanity in a sense.
Yeah.
But the fact that he's still sat there with her and still just thinking about killing himself, that's all he's thinking about.
I think
is so fucking sad.
The fact that he actually managed to finally kill himself, even if it was only in a sort of imagination space, may indicate that, like, that's his sort of closure. Like he's finally able to go through with it in some sense.
Yeah. Maybe it's supposed to represent a certain side of him that he's killing.
Maybe it's just he's coming to peace with something.
Yeah.
Sort of finally able to put something away in his mind, and maybe he'll be focusing on her now instead.
Yes,
because
that's definitely a more positive way of thinking of it.
Interpretation.
No, yeah. Definitely it's a more positive interpretation of it. But yeah, for me, when I was initially watching it, I was just thinking, yeah, wow, that, you sat here in a diner and you just you should just enjoy your milkshake, man. But no, he's just like, oh yeah, I just want to do that. Yeah, sad film.
Fantastic film.
Don't watch it. No, do watch it. It's really good. It's very well made. The scene with the security cameras and stuff is really good as well. So just seeing him moving through it with security cameras and being silent for a lot of it was really cool. I love the structure of that scene. That's great. That's
part 1 of the Make You Cry trilogy. I'm staggering them out over multiple podcasts, not just 3, because I don't want to.
I mean, it couldn't be 3 because we alternate.
I mean 3 of my choices.
Okay, fair enough. Properly staggered then.
Yeah, like next time will be an actual
non-depressing.
Well, to be fair, I could put Coco there because that's not depressing.
I was gonna say, yeah.
It'll make you cry.
Yeah, but it's not.
And it did. It fucking squeezes them out of you. It's like fucking crying. You're like, okay.
Okay, Papa Disney. Jesus.
Okay. So,
what do I want us to watch?
You haven't prepared it in advance.
I have ideas. I've got a few.
Okay.
I've got a few ideas. Because like I said, a lot of this is just making it so forcing me to watch films that I should have watched ages ago. That I really should have watched already. Okay. Yeah, okay, because it's a... So there's one that I was going to say, but I'm going to save that until October. Because it's
I know it.
Spooky, probably. But we'll do Terminator.
Interesting.
I've never seen Terminator.
You've never seen Terminator?
Let's do Terminator 2 as well.
Hey.
Because I was going to say Terminator 2.
Hey. 2.
Is 2 bad? Is this another Godfather thing where you think 1 is still better?
No, I don't mean like Terminator 2. I mean you get 2. Why do you get 2?
Okay, fine, Terminator. Have you seen them?
Yes.
Which one do you think's better?
I mean, I like 1 more personally, purely for how cheesy it is.
Fucker.
No, I like the cheesiness. I can very much respect that 2 is better.
Okay.
But I personally prefer 1. It's not a Godfather situation where
you think it's
I think
better.
1 is better.
Yeah.
It's I'm like, I like how cheesy 1 is. That's all it is.
Okay, yeah. Well, I've never seen Terminator. Let's do Terminator.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I might watch Terminator 2 as well, just myself.
Shoot. Yeah.
To give me a bit of context.
You could also do Terminator 2 and watch 1 beforehand. Yeah.
Let's do Terminator 2.
Okay. Terminator 2.
Terminator 2.
And watch 1 beforehand.
Yeah, and you can watch 1 if you want. Or that's the thing. Me saying a lot of this stuff, most people have already seen it. Obviously rewatch it as well.
But
if you want.
The point of it is that we're watching it together. We're all watching it together.
If you want, then go ahead and do that.
And remember,
but as long as you understand what we're talking about when we talk about it next time, then that's the most important thing.
Remember to obtain very legal copies, Blu-rays, DVDs, Netflix.
I'm not even sure if it's on Netflix.
I think there was a term for when you steal a movie online. I think there was a term for that. That's horrible. Who would steal movies online illegally? Not I. Not I.
Well,
you can watch Men in Black.
You can watch Back to the Future too.
You can watch Arnold Schwarzenegger Last Action Hero, which you should. It's pretty fun.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Okay.
The villain is fun. He's red eye. He has a false red eye. It's fun. It's fun.
But unfortunately, Terminator is not on Netflix, so you unfortunately gonna have to find some other way of watching it.
A DVD or a Blu-ray copy.
Yeah, just whichever way you like, whichever way.
Copy meaning, you know, a copy of the disc.
Yeah, a legal copy, of
not
course.
Like
not any other way.
Not any other sort of copy.
No, definitely not. Yeah, so
perish the thought.
Perish the thought. Yeah, just find some way to watch it, you know? Just don't tell us what way. Cool.
Don't watch Cowboys and Aliens.
Oh yeah, that's not great. So yeah, watch that for next time, and then yeah, we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah.
For more Ben and breakfast, more tea, more empty mugs because we drink very fast.
We drink a lot of tea.
More pee breaks. More pee breaks.
If you're watching this on YouTube,
more music, games, movies, and diatribes.
You are watching this on YouTube.
Yeah, I can't afford a SoundCloud thing.
There'll be no pee breaks because Ben he edits. He's a good boy.
I do. I edit almost 3 hours of footage every time. It's great.
It's nuts.
Trust me, it's the most fun I have all week. Sweet.
But if you're also watching on YouTube, you won't get the special hidden message. So pop by sometime.
Pop by. You can't see the message right there.
That's right.
So you know you should definitely watch it live.
It's up here.
Sorry, guys. See you next time. Bye bye. Is this your bye?
No. Sponsored by Golden Grapes.